Oh dear. You run late for 2 seconds and you forget where everything is. Oh dear. Where the hell did that go? I gotta find something. Otherwise, I can't do this. Hang on. Where the hell did it go? Alright, there we go. Found what I was looking for. I left it in the kitchen like a dumbass. Now I can check the audio. Because that was the whole reason I ran away. To go make sure the audio was working. Oh dear. I think it's working. It should be working. Is it working? Come on. Don't be like this. What the fuck? What is going on? Ah, never mind. Apparently it is working. So we're good. We've got audio. That was scary. I don't know why it didn't give me that for a minute. I don't think you guys can hear the leaf blower in the background, so that's good. All right. After some technical difficulties, we are now back with God of War 2018, or God of War 4, whatever you want to call it. And, well, I always start on this screen because I don't want to miss anything that some of the characters say, because they do constantly talk to each other. So let's hop right in. Continue the story. Audio issues always plague me. It always concerns me to the absolute limits. And again, hopefully you guys don't hear the fucking constant blower in the background. It should end soon, but if it doesn't, I'll go deal with it. Have we not destroyed this yet? Make sure it's gone before we move forward. Bam. Okay. I had a few things that I wanted to talk about today before the chaos of the opening just happened. Of which now is gone in my mind for some reason. As is the typical, I swear. You always have a good idea and then you lose it. And now you're sitting here looking like a dum-dum. Which tends to happen with me, I think. Okay. I did want to talk about Campaign 4 a little bit. Obviously, this is the whole channel's about. So what's happening here? Break the light of Alfheim.
Yeah, that looks too hard. Maybe we could find the light somewhere else.
No, give me a moment.
Give me a moment is right. Okay, we got rid of some of it. What the fuck was I thinking about earlier before even starting this stream? That's gonna piss me off now. It was really good too, which is why it sucks that it's gone and it's not there in my head. It has something to do with Campaign 4. What do you mean, Move, boy.
I don't think we're supposed to be
Oh,
here.
right.
Quiet.
It was about Octus's vision. So, my curiosity surrounding the whole Octus's vision,
Did you hear
how much of it,
Stay alert and by my side.
how much of it do we think is a vision, or how much is it do we think is like what he's actually
that? When we
seeing?
make it to the light, how do you think we get it into the Bifrost?
The witch said to step into it
She did?
when she was ripped away from this realm.
Oh, how did I miss that?
You are more concerned with her safety than our goal.
Oh shit! Fuck off!
Quiet. I have him. Your knife boy.
Execute him. Atreus slowly becoming more of a badass. But yeah, my question for that is, how much do we think was actually a vision
Close.
versus how much of it is actually something real? Also,
Gotta tell me.
who is the orc that is fighting? Because I think it could be like some sort of allusion to Thiazi,
Sticky.
which I think would be really cool. That the Taconis
Another one!
Stay back.
is like killed off Thiazi because they didn't want him to be fighting them in the real world anymore. And then there he is again in their realm, which might give them more confidence to like deal with it because, you know, it's their realm or the realm that they're connected to the most.
We are near our goal, but we must be careful. Understand?
God,
I feel like that could be a fairly interesting idea that like they meant to get rid of Thiazi, and then by killing him off they actually put him in a spot for him to fight back even harder in the afterlife, which I think would be rather interesting and probably would infuriate them to no end.
When it falls, be ready. We will need to move quickly.
okay.
I just think that's funny to me, the idea that Thiazi was killed off by the Taconis, and then there he is. But I saw other people thinking that it's not actually like something that's happening currently. It's more so something that's
Look out!
oh dear.
Here they come. Stay behind.
It's like a
me.
vision or like a possible version of the future, which could mean that like the person in the orc that's fighting him in the barrow guard symbol, I believe is what it was called. How am I facing the wrong way? What's happening here? The barrow guard symbol on the orc warrior could be like Alagar, because that's what he's currently doing. He's becoming one of them. A barrow guard. I hope that's what it's called, otherwise I'm just saying it.
Keep shooting, boy. I will clear our path. Shorten the time between your volleys.
What happened to accuracy on the speed?
There are many targets. You will not miss. A narrow path negates superior numbers. Stay focused.
Hang on, the fucking guy with the blower is too close for me. It's pissing me the fuck off. Okay, windows closed. I don't know if you guys heard any of it, but I was hearing it and it pissed me the hell off. I want air circulation in the room, but no, it's not allowed.
We're almost there.
But yeah, I do wonder if that orc is either Thiazi or Alagar, because I think that would be really like poetic in a way, where like Alagar is the one fighting in the realm of the dead. So like the Fang family is still a pain in the ass to the Taconis family. I think that'd be really cool. Hello, Dream. How's it going? Sleep in again?
Boy.
It's been an interesting morning. Somehow, even though I was super prepared, I still ran late. I forgot my phone,
Are
so I
you
had to
injured?
run and grab it.
I'm fine. Wow. It's beautiful.
The light of Alfheim.
The light. It's making the whole temple reappear. It's the source of all of it.
So what do you think, Dream? Who do you think the orc is in the vision that Octus had fighting in the underworld?
It's singing. I hear her. I told you I heard her. Do you think she's in there? Ah! Ah! Ugh. That really hurt. I felt like my hand was on fire.
Stay here.
But I want to
Stay
go.
here.
It could be a future version of Hal. Now that I'm thinking about it, right? Like Hal picks up the
We'll use
sword.
it as a last resort.
You're giving me your axe?
I'm letting you hold my axe.
I'm letting you hold it, boy.
It is not a gift.
Still.
Yeah, I'm talking. We talk in C4, episode 4. Personally, I don't think we know who that is. I think that would be boring to not know who it is, though. I do agree, though, there is a chance that it's not somebody we know who it is. So it's like possibly somebody completely new. But I think it'd be cool if it was somebody that we knew. Like, and somehow Theozi's still in the story, and like literally still in the story, as opposed to just being like a ghost of the story. Technically, he'd still be a ghost, but you know what I'm saying. He would still be in the story.
Faye?
You have to come back. You left me here alone.
Atreus?
Alone with him.
Oof. You're not allowed to sprint. You're not allowed to do anything. I'm pressing all the buttons.
He always leaves. He's never here. He doesn't want me, and he never will.
Crow. Fucking Odin's watching us. I do think it would be cool to have Hal and Theozi talk one more time. Right? Like, say that orc in the afterlife or in the underworld, whatever the hell we're calling it, is Theozi, and that means that at some point Hal gets to have a conversation with him. That'd be really nice. It'd be a nice
I don't
cathartic
know him,
moment
he
for
doesn't
Hal.
know me. Doesn't seem to want to. I'm strong. I'm smart. I'm not what he thinks I am. I know better.
Oh, jeez. Thor.
He doesn't talk to me. Doesn't teach me. It should have been him. Do you hear me? Him, not you.
Oof. Imagine hearing your son say it should have been him that died, or it should have been you that died, not your wife. That's crazy. I wonder if Kratos agrees, though. You know, that would be very Kratos of him. To be like, yeah, I agree, kid. Should have been me, not her.
Except
Up the wall.
I don't mean that.
Oh.
You know I love him. I just wish he was better. I know he can be.
Trying to figure out, because all these locations, I think they're important to the story. I'm trying to remember
So if he tries,
what this location is.
I'll try.
This is the house.
But if he doesn't, please come back. I know you're out there somewhere.
Some dark shit right here.
Faye. Wait. Come back! No! No! What have you done? Why did you do that?
I saved you! You were trapped in there! I waited and I waited, but you wouldn't come out! So I pulled you out!
Boy, I was gone only... vengeance.
No! You've been gone a long, long time. I didn't know what to do. You left me here again. Why don't you care?
The amount of
That's
dead bodies is
impossible.
crazy.
We should go before they come back. I hope you got what you needed.
That's fucking wild. Look at where the axe is. He used the fucking axe. Goddamn, do I love that.
Look,
Like,
there's our
he
exit.
used it to kill
There's no
somebody.
light to make a
That's so
bridge.
badass.
We're trapped, and the witch's bowstring is useless.
Alright, kid.
Boy, your bow. Hold it out.
Yeah, we can shoot them at the thingy. Forgot about that. How do we change them again? I just
On my mark, loose your arrow into the stone.
Bam.
It worked.
We can now make our way back. Come.
Just trying to remember the button to change his arrows. I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Anyway. We are going to leave the axe there until we have to. Because I think it'd be cool that way.
My arrow can't get through all that stuff covering it. There's a light crystal ahead, just laying there. Maybe it'll help us get out of this stupid place.
So, we don't think we know who the orc is fighting with the barrow guard symbol. Ooh. Wonder if there's some goodies. This is the thing, if that's the Aussie, it sort of limits the scope of this story a little too much. I feel like that's our introduction to somebody who's going to be important later for the Seekers. Ooh, for the Seekers specifically. Okay. What does that do? That's blocked off. But it doesn't have to be by the looks of it. I don't disagree that that might limit the story a little bit. I actually think that's some pretty good thinking, actually, there, Dream. It would be cool for it to be Theozy, because I can just, like, for me, right, those characters who are really connected to him, like, technically they're all connected to him in a way, but, like, you know, Tyranny isn't super connected to him in any way or form, right? Wick also isn't really all that connected to Theozy. Like, obviously they have their connections to the character, but it's not as, like, strong as, like, Hal or Taisha or Teor and stuff, right? So, like, for me, I would love there to be, like, a moment where those characters get to, like, truly say a goodbye. Like, Thimble being able to say goodbye to Theozy would be a, like, powerful and beautiful moment for the story to have. Right? Like, that's, you know, I feel like... Ooh, there's something here. That would be, like, really fun. It would be... How would I put it? It would be like... I'm trying to think of, like, a moment in Campaign 3 where we would have a moment like that. I guess a moment like that for Campaign 3 could be, like, when Imogen first encountered her mother, sort of deal, right? Where she wasn't sure if her mom was still alive or, like, what her mother was doing. So, like, the first time they encountered each other, there was that moment between them. And I feel like that moment could be there for Theozy, and it would be really powerful for so many characters. But I feel like the character that I would like to see it happen with the most would be, like, Julian, right? Like, Julian getting that moment where he gets to talk to Theozy and sort of, he gets to show his growth and almost apologize for his acts. Like, that would be a really sick moment for him to have. And you know, it really comes down to what team you think everyone's going to end up on. If you think that so-and-so is going to be a seeker, or you think that so-and-so is going to be a schemer.
Finally! I'll light the crystal if you find me an angle.
Like that
Let
to
us
me,
make our way back up.
that to me would be a really sick thing to have. Like that moment between those characters where they get to be like, you know, he gets to apologize. That would be the ultimate growth moment for a character like Julian. Do I think it's necessary for the character? Absolutely not. But do I think it would be a lot of fun? Hell yeah. What is happening? Get off there. Why isn't it letting me pick it up? There we go. Zodiac, I went through the entire ordeal. Octus almost only was in episode 4 Taconis. I still have not fully recovered. Oh, fair enough. You know, it was a lot, right? The idea of one of these characters, and my question is, right, with all of these characters being so connected to Thiazi, if one of them were to die, right, one of the characters who connected to Thiazi, how would you bring that player back into the fold and still have them feel as emotionally connected to the story? Because I don't think you can. Right? Like, I think if a character dies off, they're just not going to be as... their new character won't be as impactful to the story, which is a little unfortunate. So I'm curious, like, how they're going to handle that when it inevitably happens. Because it sounds like Brennan really wants to kill people. And with the way his dice are rolling, his dice really want to kill people too. So I'm curious whether or not, you know, this sort of thing has been planned for, if you will. And I don't mean, like, people are, like, planning their characters' deaths or anything like that. But I mean, like, I wonder how much thought Brennan has put into when a character inevitably dies and they have to, like, introduce a new person, right? Julian having that moment way later after he's completed his arc, yes, I agree, it would be great. That's true. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, once he's gone through his positive change arc, he needs to go on, like, an apology tour. And I think that apology tour works really well if it finishes with Thiazi. I just love the idea of that happening, where he's like, you know, I made these mistakes, and it cost me my family, it cost me RNS's family, it cost these people their family, right? Like, because his actions of capturing Thiazi ruined Thimble, right? Like, she is now in a state of hopelessness. Like, her to steal from this game for a second, her light, her, like, entire life and her light is gone, right? The person that she cherished the most, the person who was with her through literally thick and thin, is gone. Like, that's rough. What do I gotta do here? Break it.
Where are you taking that?
Wherever I want, boy.
Boy, over here.
But yeah, I think that would be a nice way to finish up Julian's arc. To, like, truly be like, this is the end of his arc. He cemented who he is and his apology tour is over, sort of deal, would be a lot of fun. In my opinion. I know some people would be like, that sounds boring, but I think that'd be fun.
Might.
Especially because you can already see the...
Oh, look. The blue door that's not a door.
And a sand bowl.
But how do you expect me to reach it?
You can already sort of feel and see the regret that that Julian has for everything that's happened in the story, which is nice. Like, it's not taking forever to get to it, which is part of what I really liked about these opening episodes, is that we've gotten a lot of information about these characters way faster than I feel like we would have gotten to a lot of this information for some of them in prior games, which is something that I think is really nice, right? The idea that we don't have to wait for these fucking stories forever is awesome. And I forget where I was going with that. I loved his terms and conditions moment when he was about to have Primus cast Circle of Death. Was, I think, the moment the penny drop. Brennan is dealing with danger very differently from Matt. Oh, I agree. I think the way that Brennan has handled difficult encounters is fantastic. And it's stressful, and some people would be like it's unbalanced, but keep in mind this is the type of story that they're all telling, right? This is their story that they've told together as a group, and the way that Alex set up his family was to be this dangerous entity.
If I want your opinion, boy, I will ask for it.
But yeah, I liked the way that he made things difficult. And what was fun about it is, for the first time in a while, I was like stressed out about an encounter, right? Like I feel like that isn't the case for most encounters, especially early encounters, especially once you hit that level 3 mark, because once you hit level 3, things become a little bit easier to deal with. So seeing the game like sort of go the way it did was interesting. And the fact that, you know, D&D is a game where you get to tell a story, the DM tells a story with you, and the dice get to sort of determine if the story you guys want to tell gets told, or if the story the dice wants to tell gets told, right? Which I love. I love how the dice really shape things and how poorly things went for Octus. So that was a fun moment. I know it was stressful, and by God,
Uh-huh.
why is he so fucking edgy? Like, come on, we didn't know we left you for ages, bud. Relax. Your attitude is pissing me off, boy.
Anytime you're ready.
What does this mean?
Seed.
Remember the shape.
Yeah, I know.
Boy.
Go ahead.
Greatest man nor tallest tree begins as any more than me. Yeah, it's seed. Stupid riddles. So, it's a door after all.
Your sass is not welcome, boy. Oh my fuck, that scared the shit out of me. And I knew that was gonna happen too. Like, I remember this happening in the past, but fuck me, that got me so fucking bad. Belair's big thing being finally revealed was a huge surprise for me. I also saw the cold open in a new light post finding out his secret. Well, yeah, that was fun. When you start to put pieces together and you realize, oh shit, he woke up next to a body.
You boys look like
It
you're
was
gearing up for quite
his
the journey.
body.
There's an abandoned temple in
badass.
Midgard that a fellow dwarf converted to his personal storeroom. Packed it with all sorts of treasures he collected during his travels throughout the realms.
Throughout the realms? Which ones did he go to? What did he collect?
Fafnir was a, shall we say, aggressive collector of magical artifacts. The more he acquired, the more he desired. There was no realm too dangerous, no relic too hazardous. He once ventured deep into Niflheim for a whetstone of all things. Huh. I bet that was quite the whetstone.
Does this story have a point?
Yes, it does. I just happen to have an entry stone to Fafnir's storeroom. You might find something useful in there.
Neat. Thanks, Sindri.
You're very welcome. Oh, and if you find that whetstone, well, it sure would be nice of you to bring it to me. I'd advise caution if you're heading to the storeroom. Last I was there, all manner of nastiness had taken up residence.
Won't your
Cool,
friend be
thanks,
upset if
bud.
we steal all of his stuff?
Oh, no. No, not at all. He's dead.
Oh, sorry.
No, no need to be sorry. These things happen when one travels from realm to realm, collecting priceless artifacts that don't belong to you. Well,
But,
don't buy anything on my account.
Yeah, the way that reveal played out, and like you were able to like piece things together in your head about like what that means for Belair and for like the guy he killed earlier in that
The one with
day.
the horns is back. What is he
It
wearing
was awesome.
now? I hate that guy.
It was so
You'll be
cool.
back.
Belair, I love that. I love that concept of him. Is what if the Mask, the movie The Mask, was never about Stanley Ipkiss at all? Well, it's not. So do you know anything about the Mask comic books versus the Mask?
Oh no, the boat isn't here. It's still back at the other side of the lake.
Then we go back the way we came. The lift.
The comic books versus like
We
the
really
Mask
gotta go back down here again?
Do you see any other
movie
way?
is wild.
No.
Then
And the way that the Mask plays off people. So first of all, I love Belair as a concept. It feels like the Mask, like you were saying, but it also feels like Dr. Fate, right? Where the Mask gives the person like wacky powers and stuff, but then it also like twists and contorts them like the mask from The Mask does. So like Dr. Fate's mask, like there's a person in there, which is Belair, but then it gives them like wacky powers, if you will, kind of, I guess. I wonder how much it honestly probably just more so feels like Dr. Fate than anything else realistically. But I like the idea of people bringing up the Mask because the Mask does definitely change your personality a lot. I am aware they're very different. Yeah, I mean, shit. The Mask book, comic book,
There
There's
isn't a
a-
way back up from here, you know.
I know.
there's a villain who like I don't know how else to put it. He takes like a scalpel and like just sits there in front of somebody else and just cuts his own face. I don't know the reason, I forget now, but he just stands there cutting his own face to freak the person out who he's like talking to, and he makes it look like he feels no pain from it, which is fucking crazy to me. But it's also just like Salandri Velas's goddess of nature. Yes, we're learning way more names now. I just think like the way that the Mask movie does not show people like a good. I don't want to say a good. It doesn't show people a one-to-one version of the Mask. I would love like for them to remake the Mask movie, but like follow the comics a bit closer. I think that would be a lot of
Great.
fun.
Now I can barely see.
There's light. Make do.
Oh god, more of these things.
Use your arrow.
Hey guys, earlier today. No, we play at the same time every day. Or every day. Every time is always 12:30, Max. How's it going, by the way? 12:30. It's always 12 when we start, not 12:30. Unless I missed daylight savings and started early by mistake. Bam.
It would help me if you would hold the light up so I could see where I'm shooting.
Use your ears. Adapt.
I am.
Also, am I correct that Brennan implied that Belair and his siblings were made to kill the trickster goddess of the halflings? Yes. Yeah, I don't think
How
he
are we
implied
supposed
that.
to
He
get
just
across without a
outright said it.
We find a crystal.
My question is, did one of the siblings at some point in time, like, did they put the mask on the goddess or the god of tricksters? Was it a god or goddess? That was my question. Did they, like, force the mask onto the god? Which would be so dark if that were the case, right? Like, everything we learn about the people who killed the gods, like, things slowly get darker with each reveal, which is awesome. I love it. I think it's so much fun. But it's just funny to see, like, as we learn more, we see that killing the gods off was, like, a mistake. My question is one of the siblings who, of Belair, because there are multiple, like, Belair masks and stuff. My question is, were the siblings of Belair, like, did one of them wear the god, right? They put the mask on the god, killing the god off. Because if these masks were made to kill the god, it would only make sense that the only way to get rid of him using the mask would be to put the mask on. Do people think I'm off with that, or does that sound right to you? Because I think, you know, that sounds like what happened to me. Like, someone at some point in time in that family was in fact the god. I think that'd be really fun if that were the case. If it's not, then that's great. It means we get to learn, like, 15 different, like, characters at some point. Like, oh, this person did this and this person did that, and, you know, that will be something to learn eventually at some point. I'm excited for that too. Where the fuck is the light that I'm supposed to be finding? Because this is here. What's this? Where's the other one? How am I supposed to hit both of those at the exact same time? It's always fun when you get lost in the game. Oh, there it is. I was just not, like, 2 feet further and I would have had it. Unless I can't hit it from here. There we go. Fuck's sake. That took too long. But also, if none of the other siblings have been found, right? Except for the one mask that's now in the coffin that's like a spiraling vortex of death. Does that mean the vortex that Belair looked into, could it be like some sort of prison for the people who, like, you know, are the victims of Belair? Because that's what we're going to call them, right? Victims. Because they're victims of Belair. Because they're trapped. I feel like victim is the right word. Unless I'm wrong. And it's not, but I don't know. Okay. Where is a light that we can grab? That's not it. also with the whole this person's a god thing, this person's a god thing, is there a chance that one of the siblings is still the god of the tricksters? Like the god's lifespan is just that much longer than everything else, that it is allowed to continue to like live on, sort of deal? Like that one specifically will never just die because of it? So many questions surrounding one. Oh my fuck. Am I blind? It was right in front of us this whole time, and I'm just blind. Okay. You guys piss me off. Literal anger. Spoils of war. Alright.
We've been standing here a while.
I don't think there's anything else in here.
Sure you can handle carrying that? Don't want you to be lagging behind when we get attacked.
Remain alert and quiet.
God damn. This kid's pissing Kratos off today. I do like how these episodes have given us so much like theory stuff to craft with, right? Like everything surrounding Belair is awesome, and we can just think of a million theories about like where the others are and blah blah blah.
Shoot.
But
Know how it works.
the best part about Belair's reveal is that it showed like a truly like dark, malevolent side to Theozy. That was one of the things that I was
Finally,
like,
we can use the same sandbowl that brought us down the first time. I want to get out of here.
that was one of the things that I was waiting for, because up to this point, right, they were saying constantly that people think like two ways of Theozy. They're either on board with Theozy or they hate Theozy. And that didn't make sense to me with everything that we knew of him being like a rebellion fighter, someone who even in like the War of Axe and Vine, he was someone who people like looked at positively, including people who would now be considered his enemy, like, you know, the entirety of the like Davos family, right? Like people looked at him in a very positive light because of that event. So when we hear people say he's a like, oh, we hate him, like, where would that have come from beforehand, right? Like, not too many people would agree with that statement. Also, the moment where Belair tells Hal about himself and what Theozy did to him has so much uncertainty and doubt, considering we know Liam rolled that nat 1 and Taliesin rolled that natural 20. Right, exactly. Oh, that's so true. Thank you for reminding me about that. That has me filled with so much doubt. Like, oh, sure, somebody, like, you know, he could easily be lying about everything he said about Theozy, which is fascinating, right? Oh, come on. Which is fascinating, because the idea of Belair being one of the players, but can we really trust him? That is almost as interesting as the idea of, like, Theozy being a bad guy, to me. Like, that idea is just so good. And I love the way Taliesin plays it up, right? Like, I just love the way that they're able to do that. And, like, their roleplay is so good between all of them. Alright. Anybody else find it weird that we've just found Theozy's talon and falcons have talons? This game is listening to us. Anyway, we should leave before it listens to us anymore. Alright, boy. Do the thing. Shoot him, boy. Oh, you jerk. Stop throwing shit at me. keep my axe. Shit. Kratos does not have dark vision. Do not shoot me. Eat my fists. Tasty knuckle sandwiches, aren't they? Oh, that's not blockable. Shit. This one is. Double shit, because it didn't do it well enough. Where the fuck is he? Oh, he's still over there. Crap. I've always found this boss fight to be such a bitch. I don't know why. But this time it's going well. I don't think I've ever had this much luck against him. And as I speak, I start to lose where we are in this whole thing.
No, that can't be.
What did it say?
That we made...
Wolf summon. Ooh. There you go.
a grave mistake.
I don't make mistakes,
We
boy.
on the wrong side? Let me guess. You're gonna be smug and say you told me we shouldn't get involved.
That is enough.
Can we go now?
Man, this kid's fucking brazen and ballsy.
Do
What
you
the
remember
fuck?
the answer?
Yeah.
We basically have no choice but to take it at face value because I don't feel like we know enough about Belair to tell.
Only time you want to talk to me is when you need
Do you want to tell me something?
I said the only time you care to talk to me is when you need me to translate for you. If Mom was
If
here...
your mother was still alive, we would not be here at all.
Boy.
Atreus.
Forget it.
Fine.
Yeesh. Rough conversations, you know. Sometimes it happens. We don't know enough about Belair to tell whether or not he's even lying. On the other hand, Julian's reaction to Octus being a back post raid on the house of Davos sort of told me more about how he deals with his guilt and hurt, especially when he didn't want to be hugged by Taisha. Yeah, he's definitely struggling. Right? Like, the way things are going for him, he's struggling with everything, and he's starting to sort of realize he might have... I think the big thing for him is he's starting to realize he might have done the wrong thing. And that, to him, probably sucks more than anything else. Right? Because he's, like, honor-bound. So in his mind, he did something honorable, only for his family to be killed off in such a fucking dishonorable way. Right? To, like... You know, your whole thing's honor, right? So what happens to your family? They get killed by a bunch of spectral ghosts that most of them don't see coming. Your dad was killed via a dude sneaking up behind him in a ghost form and fatalitying him, right? Like that was a fucking Mortal Kombat fatality. So your whole honor-bound thing just went out the fucking window because no one else is playing by the honor rules, right? No one else has that honor system going for them. Only you. You're the only guy playing by the rules that you thought you were all playing by. which is shitty, to say the least. Also, Julian did what he did for House Takonos, so the betrayal goes even deeper for him. Yeah, exactly. He did everything thinking that like everyone was being honorable in this moment. Like that's the part that sort of gets him. Right? If I do this and quickly do this. Damn. Okay. I still don't know the way around this fucking one. I do think it's rather interesting that, you know, this character's playing out in such a way because, like, you know, the whole honor bound thing. It is interesting seeing Matt play this character. You were so happy when Octus sat up. Yeah, I mean, the way that Brennan described it in like his like initial description of things, I was like, okay, I'm starting to see like the wheels turning here. Maybe the character's not fully gone and there's a chance for Octus. So when it eventually happened, I was very thrilled because, you know, that would have sucked. You're the only person to die in this game so far. Like, that would have been rough. How does one get up there? That's the problem we're having here today. Unless I've completely missed something, which I don't think I have. Or like a secret path over here somewhere. Nope. Also, I learned very quickly I am completely attached to Pin this episode. Oh yeah, I wonder how you figured that one out. The thought of Octus dying and then Pin falling apart was horrible. The image that it put in my brain was one of the most upsetting feelings I think I've ever had coming out of Critical Role. Like, dear God, did that make me instantly hate everything surrounding House Takonos. Just instantly hate them. God damn it, I don't think that's gonna work either. Sometimes my brain just don't want to work for these puzzles. But yeah, I think the way that Brennan has set up all of these villains has been masterful. And I look forward to learning so much more about them. Also, the combat was sick. Oh, dude, it was so good. This episode to me really showed like a lot of Brennan's strengths in what he does as a GM. So I personally was a really big fan of everything that happened. Am I stupid? Like, what am I missing here? I did just hit that, so can I, like, hit it from over here? Would love to figure this out. I love how Brendan straight up told us this is a dangerous situation, try to survive it. Yeah, I wonder if he thought he, like, his players would try to think of, like, a different solution than what they ended up going for. Like, in his mind, was he thinking, like, okay, I'm going to tell them this is a bad time, and because they know it's a bad time, they will try to do something other than fight. Like, was that his thought process for it? Because you got to remember, as a DM, you have a thought process to things, and the way you think it's going to go isn't how your players end up doing it sometimes. Oh my god. That was definitely not how you're supposed to do it, but I got it. Thank fuck. Finally made it through that little portion. And we can move on to the next. Oh, it's so nice when a plan comes together. I think saving Lady Aranessa was a huge win for the group. I loved how we got to see Julian fights. The fact that it was like slowly revealed like what Aranessa's powers were really cool. Like I'm a big fan of that reveal and how Brennan sort of handled it. Just in general, like again, Brennan is a very good storyteller. Now, I think there's been a couple of things that have cropped up that sort of point to a mild weakness that I think he has. And I might get flamed for this. Because I don't think it's that bad necessarily. But I do think something has emerged. And that a lot of people are sort of on the same thought process when it comes to it. Because I've seen a lot of people talk about it. And I'm curious if you agree. And that is, I've seen a bunch of people say that they think Brennan is going too slow. Which is hilarious, because if you remember what I said about it, like my hopes and expectations for the campaign, I hope Brennan speeds up. So now I'm seeing people say he's too slow. I'm like, what are we doing here, guys? What do we want here? It's just funny to me. I'm curious what you guys think. If you guys think that Brennan is going a little too slow for your liking, or if, you know, he's like at a good spot. Because for me, I see where people are coming from saying that he's going too slow. Like, I see where he's going, like where people are coming from when it comes to that. But at the same time, I think it's important to remember that he is now given this story and he wants to sort of let it play out the way that he wants to let it play out. He wants it to be... I don't really know how to say it, if that makes sense. He wants it to... He wants to let it breathe, which is nice. Which is something that I really wanted from the campaign. I wanted it to be allowed to do its own thing and to not be... You know, like... His previous games, he was forced to go slow, right? He was forced to go slow. Or sorry, I mean the other way. He was forced to go fast, right? Because he had 4 episodes at the most, I believe. I think at one point he had 3, right? I think Downfall was 3 episodes. So he kind of had to be fast with those, which was my worry. I was like, I hope he doesn't bring his pacing for EXU into regular Critical Role. And he didn't. He's slowing down a lot. But I'm seeing a lot of people say, like, he's too slow. And people are saying they're watching, like, combats and, like, times 2 speed. I'll admit, I watch combat in 0.15 speed, but I'm doing it for the purposes of, you know, like, I understand D&D combat, so I'm like, you know, this is going to be the slowest part.
So,
But what he... Atreus is talking.
was she in the light?
Who?
You know.
Oh, she was not there.
Not like you would even care if she was.
Mind your tongue, boy! Until our journey is over, one of us must remain focused. Do not mistake my silence for lack of grief. Mourn how you wish. Leave me to my own.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
No. Why would you? You do not know my ways. has not been easy. In the light, I felt only moments pass. If that is of some comfort to you.
That's good to know. Really. So, should we go back to Midgard? Face the Black Breath? Or do you think there's more to see in this realm?
Okay, I thought Kratos was going to answer. I think he's going just the right amount of speed to allow us to take everything in. Exactly. Learn everything we need to learn. Exactly. And he's letting his players dictate the pace more than getting where he needs. I agree. 100%. I think you're right. I think that people who are saying he's a little too slow, like, I don't know how to put this. People have a certain expectation of Critical Role based on the fact that EXU was a very well known, or sorry, not EXU. Exandria was really well known.
How observant.
I am known for my attention to detail.
Sure. So people are like, oh, I want things to go this speed. But most people had a very solid understanding of Exandria, right? Like, I feel like most people looked at Exandria and were like, we know this place, so we can, like, sort of speed through it a little bit easier. Ahriman is a new beast entirely, right? The whole idea of Ahriman is it's a new world. We have a new
Father,
thing to experience.
I have a confession to make. All those voices in my head, well, this wasn't the first time. Back when we met Brock, his animal warned me about something hiding in the trees. That's why she didn't want to cross.
She told you.
Well, I could just feel what she was feeling, what she was afraid of.
It happens again. You tell me. Understand?
I promise.
So much death and destruction everywhere. But yeah, I think his pacing is perfectly fine. Based on the fact that we're in a new world and we need to learn a bunch of new stuff, I think it's just the biggest problem with people's expectations, right? Everyone's going to think differently than everybody else. So we're going to have different expectations for different places. That's just the main issue, right? So for a lot of people who complain about how... I wonder if there's, like, teleportation doors that I missed, which would suck. You know, people expect things to go one speed in Exandria versus people expecting it to go
But
in...
now,
We have the light. To Midgard.
in in Ahriman, right? So that's the unfortunate truth behind it, and people aren't gonna allow that to be. I don't want to say they're not gonna allow it to be said, but they're just not, right? Just checking out all the realms that we can go to. None, apparently. It's also hilarious how people are both getting confused about what everything is and who everyone are, but still want quicker pace. Yeah, I don't... Where the hell was Midgard? That's Elfheim. That's where we are. Helheim. Svartalheim. Asgard. Niflheim. Oh, triangle to return to Midgard, my bad.
it's crazy to think that all the realms exist in the same space, one on top of the other. It's like this room lets us travel without moving.
Where's it gonna stop? Oh. Okay, anyway. Sorry for getting lost there in the sauce. You love the pace? Yeah, I think the pace is good. I personally don't hate it at all. It was just more so people are like saying that he talks too slow. It's like, what the fuck are you guys on about? He talks like a mile a minute.
Brock! We just came back from another realm. And we met your brother. Wait, not in that order.
Did you let that seed sop put hand to your blade? Hmm? You do know he lost his talent, right? Just up and left him one day. Tried taking me down with him. Did he botch up on a girl?
Quite the opposite.
Yeah, even a blind pig farts up a truffle now and again. But you know what really counts? Consistency. And I got that coming out of all of my parts.
Thanks, Brock.
What did you do?
It's better.
Okay. I'm finding like 5 big things about the world per episode. Well, yeah, I mean, we're gonna find a bunch of new stuff every episode because of the idea that like.
Do you remember the way back to the Black Breath?
Of course. We need to walk across the bridge to the Vanaheim Tower. Are we going to the Black Breath or exploring? Your choice.
Obviously, it's my choice, boy. This was the mines, right? Don't think we need to really worry about anything. Fafnir's storeroom. We can go there. Let's go over there to Fafnir's storeroom. Where's the closest boat? We need a boat, boy. I kind of want to know what the fuck was going to happen if Marisha and Talzin failed that check. Well, Octus would be dead. I feel like that's the only answer that makes sense, right? Octus would no longer be on the team.
Know any good stories to pass the time?
What kind of story?
I don't know. Mother always had stories. Weren't you told me when you were a boy?
There was a man I knew of long ago. His stories were brief and purposeful.
Sounds fun. Do you remember any?
There was one that concerned a hare and a tortoise.
Like the witch's house?
Unlikely.
So what happened?
They wager on a race between them. The hare is too confident of victory and foolish, while the tortoise is steady and disciplined. The tortoise wins.
You haven't told a lot of stories, have you?
Alright, to Fafnir's storeroom. Yeah, if what was gonna happen if they didn't do well on that check, he'd be dead. Octus would be dead. Like, and Alex said that much in the wrap up, or no, I keep calling it the wrap up, but the cooldown show. He said as much. Like, he was
Treasures for
totally.
alternate realms. Do you think that Fafnir went to Alfheim too?
I do not know.
Aren't you curious? He sounds interesting.
We go to the storeroom to collect anything useful for our journey, not to learn more about the dwarf.
He said that he was 100% willing to, if things didn't go well for him, he was 100% willing to like roll up another character. So that would have been interesting to see eventually, like what that entailed, if you know what I'm saying. To eventually see Brenton mentioned when he was narrating how some sort of very bad magical consequences was narrowly avoided. Also, Octus was dead. Yeah.
Have you
according
made it out of Fafnir's storeroom yet?
No, not yet. We're going there now. According to Brennan, the path that Octus took to getting back by like taking out the stone from his chest and like, you know, sewing him back up, and the way he did that was apparently the worst outcome. Like they've sort of gone down the worst path according to Brennan, which is hilarious to me. Because honestly, it didn't seem like it was that bad of a path.
Uh-oh. They must have gotten here first.
So I just found it funny that like Brennan outright said like, oh, you guys went on like the hardest path to trying to get him back. And apparently there's going to be consequences to their actions here. Like the way that they brought him back is going to like do stuff that's not necessarily positive in the overall scope of the Taconis stuff, which I love. I love the idea that, like, you know, roles are important. It makes everything feel, well, for lack of better words, important, which is nice. I love the way that Brennan is telling this story. It's so much fun for me. Like,
That was good, right?
he's a spectacular storyteller, and the way that things have gone has been way too fun. And I am truly looking forward to more of these consequences playing out, because we've heard a couple times, oh, well, there's going to be consequences for that. So I am super excited about that, about like the idea of more consequences coming up from their actions, because I feel like, and not to, you know, sound, I don't know what kind of word to use here, but I feel like a lot of the times Matt would go like kind of easy on them for consequences, right? In the older games, he would be kind of like, well, this happened, and realistically, he would want like the story to play out and continue, and he wouldn't want to
Locked. Find another entrance.
risk the players that much unless it's like, well, this is going to happen. It has to happen sort of deal. So like Brennan feels like someone who's more willing to kill people off. So the consequences for his games feel a lot more dangerous, if that makes sense. So I'm looking forward to that fact. The fact that it seems like we're getting true, honest to God consequences for player actions
Whoa.
that feel like they're going to be like a lot rougher than whatever Matt would do. And again, not begrudging against Matt. Everyone plays their own way, and if he doesn't want to play in a way that like ends up with his players dead, that's perfectly reasonable in my opinion.
Another map. Great.
I had a feeling that Brennan would give Octus's resurrection some narrative weight. Yeah, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun whatever happens. Search for the whetstone.
Looks like the Reavers made it inside. I hope they didn't take all the treasure.
Something tells me they didn't make it. I feel like Brennan will give them exactly the consequences that work best for the story. Yeah, but and I'm not saying that Matt didn't do that, but I feel like he was lighter on the players than I feel like Brennan is going to be. Brennan, to me, feels like someone who's going to be a lot more willing to, like, negatively impact his characters. But at the same time, we've also seen that he's willing to be a positive thing. Like, he's willing to give them, like, you know, a bonus to attacking Primus Taconis moving forward because of how much he hates a guy, right? Like Julian now has a permanent like bonus when he's below half health, and as the story moves forward and he gets into more contact with Primus Taconis, that is going to become less of a deal for him to be below half health. Like eventually he's going to have what, 80 health, so his half health is going to be 40, and that means he's still going to be a really good place to fight Primus Taconis.
Some stupid pots.
You know.
No magical treasure and no whetstone.
Keep your expectations low, boy, and you will never be disappointed.
So, I agree. Matt very much tried his best to not completely fuck over his friends in Exandria campaigns. Yeah, exactly. I feel like compared to Matt, Brennan is going to be, and not to mention, there's 13 players that he can fuck with. So if he wants to, he can really just, you know, pick and choose. Like, I guess not pick and choose, but he can be more willing to do it because there's more people to do that too. Which I think is going to be a good thing in the long run.
They caught you off guard.
I wasn't expecting them.
Exactly.
Which I'm looking forward to. I love everything that Brennan's done so far. It's been very entertaining.
Huh?
And again, looking forward to how everything goes so far. It's been so much fun watching all of them interact. Again, I think it's really strange that we didn't get a moment where all of the players were at the table together. But that's sort of, you know, that was Brennan's choice to not have them all be there. This is a big jogger, and I'm getting my ass kicked because of it. Hey. Bro, chill. Please die. Oh my god, I just died. I also love how he's pretty much stated this campaign where you have to think through your actions because he's going to he's not going to keep you safe. Yeah, again, I love the idea that, and I think it comes down to the fact that because there is so many players, he will be able to, whoops, wrong thing. He will be more willing to kill people off. That is sort of like the overall vibe that he gives off this campaign, which is something I'm looking forward to. Get rid of these smaller guys first this time. See if that does anything for us. Hey, bro, chill. I just love that he's willing to give, like, those warnings of, like, this isn't gonna go well if you guys fuck around. Like, that was funny. When he's like, oh yeah, like, this fight is gonna be hard. And guess what? It killed a guy, like, pretty quickly. But at the same time, what's I guess, funny about it all?
And useful resources. The main reason we are here, boy. However, many of these chests have been emptied.
Probably by the Reavers. I hope they didn't take Sindri's whetstone.
But what was I fucking saying? Goddamn, I keep losing my train of thought because these characters start talking. But yeah, I love that he's like, okay, guys. So here's the sitch. Here's the situation. If you fuck around, you're gonna find out. That's basically what he was saying. I love that so much. And that's funny to me.
Expectations, boy.
Keep them low. I remember. Still, good feeling.
Yes. God damn it. Shoot her, bro. A second one. Come on. Please die. It's always dead. Phew. Please die. I'd rather not die, thank you very much. I did not do any damage to her. Whew. It makes the world feel alive and you love it. Yeah, it's just... Again, in my opinion, Brandon has done a fantastic job of making this world feel like it's not standing still, which is a problem that I feel like a lot of DMs end up having. Like, a lot of people say, like, in your story, the characters should affect what happens in the world. Like, the characters should happen to the world, is what a lot of people end up saying, right? A good example of that is, like, is One Piece. I don't want to really get into spoilers for One Piece because, you know, that's just how it is. But every time a character goes to the island, like one of the islands that they go to, like, they are the ones who affect what happens to it. They don't just so happen to go to an island on its, like, worst day. They go, and because they're there, things happen. They affect the way that the world works. And a bunch of DMs...
This time.
I saw.
So I should keep my expectations low, but always expect an attack?
It is a delicate balance. Expect the worst, assume nothing, and always anticipate an attack.
Sure is a lot to remember.
But yeah, like I was saying, like, these, like, a bunch of DMs think that the characters should happen to the world. Except that's not the case in real life. People don't just happen to the world, right? Like, things happen surrounding it. So when it comes to the way that your D&D world should be like, it should feel like other things are happening outside of what you guys are doing. It can't just be what you guys are doing being the only thing in it. Otherwise, it's going to feel like nothing happens and everything else in the world is standing still. And Brennan is doing a brilliant job of making it feel like the world is still moving while his players are doing things. Matt also did that fantastically, where stuff would happen in the background of his stories. And, like, Matt and Brennan, in my opinion, are experts at making the world feel like stuff is happening at all times. They've done a fantastic job of doing that. And I think Brennan is just as good at doing it as Matt is, which is something I think is, like, rare to say about people.
And only one room left. I know I shouldn't hope, but do you think we'll find it there?
No.
I also laughed my head off when the tables weren't divided at the end of the episode. Oh, don't even get me started on that. Totally agree, which is why I tell my players in a post-credit scenes what happened to things that they did not choose. Oh, so, like, you tell them what the possible outcomes were? That's a good idea. But when the tables weren't fucking chosen, oh, you guys have no idea how angry I was. I was like, no, I wanted to see if I was right or wrong. But what I was right about was how there was no way there wasn't going to be a time where the two tables come together. So at this point, any group could break off and be any group, which I figured was what's going to happen. Like, I figured that was going to be the path that they took, that they would all come together, and from there they get to, like, naturally pick where their teams end up. So I'm happy that that was, in fact, the case.
So, you back to piss on my corpse, you ungrateful little... who are you two?
We're looking for a whetstone. Have you seen it?
Aye, there was one in this room. My son sharpened his dagger on it, right before stabbing me in the back.
What?
Little bastard thought it was his turn to lead my crew. I was hard on him, sure. Guess I shouldn't be surprised. I did the same thing to my dad when I was his age.
He killed his own father?
Where is he now?
Ha! He may be a bastard, but he's my bastard. You'll get no help from me, fool.
Then his dagger will help.
Hey! That's mine! Hey!
Come, boy. We are leaving.
Fuck.
Choke on it!
And there's a second one. Hello. I was going to read out chat, but I can't. take out the smaller one first. 2, 3. Ooh, they can hit each other. That's fun. Wait. What the fuck? You don't get to throw more things at me. I'm already fighting 2 ogres. That's not the one I want to attack. Come on. What the fuck was that? The game slowed down. Anybody else see that? What the fuck else is here to attack me? God damn it, another one of those things? Shoot it, boy. Time to die. Bam. Kill each other. Come on, whack. Whack. I'm still raging. Sweet. There we go. Whack. A little nightmare. I saw him throw something at me earlier. Time to die, Nightmare. You're still not that crazy. Now you're dead. Okay, now I can finally read chat. Dear Lord. I love how Brennan is setting up sort of a mixed group. Sorry, a group mix and match. Oh, that's true. Yeah, I kind of don't want that. At the same time, I do kind of want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it would be a little bit more interesting if the groups were truly separate for a while and they couldn't just constantly like weave between the two of them. I think it'd be a little bit more like condensed if that were the case, which I thought was what they were going for. The next game is Dispatch, the CR co-produced one. They co-produced that. I thought like Laura was just one of the voice actors in it. I guess that goes to show how well I pay attention. Which is very little.
Why would his son betray him like that? Kill his own father? Over some treasure? It seems so greedy.
Remember what I told you, boy. Assume nothing.
Well, sure. He didn't seem like a great father, but...
You only know half the story.
Guess.
I'm excited to focus on one table and their part of the story next episode. Yeah. It is exciting that we're finally moving into the part of the story that... Oh god, what the fuck? He hurts. Give me this. No, I missed the opening. Shit. How stupid of me. There's so much to fucking keep track of. Please just hit, Kratos. Ugh. I'm losing my mojo for this fight. Oh dear. This is not going well. Come on. Bro, chill out. Ah, for fuck's sake. What happened to my resurrection stone? I thought I had that. Travis plays Phenomenal Man. Is that in... What are you talking about? Like, are you talking about Teor, or is that like a Phenomenal Man as a character in the game Dispatch? I feel like it's going to be the game seeking out Casimir and Sid with some Cadigan lore and subplot for Wick and Tyranny sprinkled in. How long would you like their part to take? Honestly, and I wonder if I'm going to be alone on this one, I would like their, like, individual stuff to last, like, a full arc's worth. So, like, I don't know. You could probably give me... I would be okay with, like, shit, somewhere in the neighborhood of a month or so. And yeah, that's his character in game. I would like... you could give me a good stretch of time. Like, more than a month. I said a month or so. That's definitely not the case. It's got to be more than that. Because I think that'd be more fun. So, like, sit with them for a while would be way more fun, in my opinion, than to have the characters leave and come back, like, every episode, like, where they swap off to different tables. I feel like that would be too much, right? Because from one episode, you're going from a completely different location in, I forget the name of the place now, but it's going to be a completely separate location from the city. So we're going to be going from one location to another. And the problem I see forming with that is there's going to be a lot of, like, characters that we're going to be introduced to, and a lot of, like, locations and, like, names and stuff. So if you give people too much of that, you're going to end up with difficulties being able to keep track of your story, which is unfortunate. So I think if you want to keep things consistent, your best option is to just stay with one group for long enough to where you get to complete a story arc. My issue with this, though, with like how exactly things are going to be going, and we don't know how it works quite yet. We will soon. My big issue with it is what happens when they plan crossovers. Do we have to, you know, like, because if they plan a crossover, right? Say they do the entirety of the what's it called? They do the entirety of the Soldier story, and the Soldier story ends up doing like 12 episodes worth, right? And then let's say 12. And then at the end of it, Brennan goes, and then suddenly Hal, Azune, Murray, and Belair appear. Right? Like, that's how it ends, and there's a cliffhanger, and then we watch that group's story for the next little while. And then the idea would be roughly the same amount of length of time would be dedicated to those people. And then at the end of it, they say you walk into a room and you see Tyranny, Teor, Thimble, Wick, and Cadigan, right? Like, that's the whole idea. Like, at the end of theirs separate grouping, they do a thing. But imagine right? They do the full 12 episodes, and they're nowhere near where the other group is, right? We're here sitting here going, okay, we're going to get to Taylor's group soon enough with the Seeker story. And then it just doesn't happen. And now we have to wait even longer to get there, right? And so the idea is, in my brain, unfortunately, like, we're going to get a lot of moments where it's not, like, equal, right? Like, in my head, like, we got to figure out a way to make everything feel balanced and that groups, because some people aren't going to like certain groups. You can already tell, right? Just by the way, like, the internet is perceiving, like, certain groups and certain characters, you just know that people are not going to be happy about it. Yeah, I think 6 to 8 episodes probably might unite the end of the year. My hope for episode length would be like the Hunt for Casimir arc, 15 to 20 episodes. My expected episode length around 5 to 6. It's just hard, right? Because how are they going to be shooting these, right? Are they going to be shooting them, because you have to plan for crossovers, right? So you shoot them. Do you do, like I said, do you do 6 episodes and then you end it with Brennan saying, and then you guys see the Seekers approach, and then we watch the Seekers for a couple episodes, and then by the end of that 6th episode you would expect them to be like, and then you guys see the soldiers, but then that doesn't end up happening for whatever reason. But then from there you cut away and you go to the Schemers group, and bam, you're now away from this crossover episodes for another 6 episodes. So how are they going to be shooting this is the question that I have, like, in my brain. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense to anybody else, but, like, how are they going to be doing it? Are they going to be, like, shooting it the same way we're going to be seeing it, where it's, you know, anywhere between 10 to 12 weeks where your group isn't at the table, which would blow, by the way, if you're like, oh, I want to play D&D, but you have to share the table with, like, 6 different groups, or with 2 other groups, so you're going to be away from the table for 6 weeks at a time, if not more. Or is it more likely that they shoot them one at a time, so you get a soldiers table, and then a seekers table, and then a schemers table, and Brennan is able to tell the story like that, and then eventually it'll feel more natural because week to week they're playing and they'll meet up at the same time. But then we see them, like, the way they shoot versus the way they show us is out of order, right? Will they shoot like 3 times a week, and, like, each group gets to play 1 time a week, which would put them way ahead of schedule, by the way, if that ends up happening. Like, they'll be pre-recorded way out ahead of us, which I think might be the case.
We found no whetstone. This dagger belongs to the Reaver who took it.
They took most of the good stuff.
Oh? Well, here, take this, in exchange for the dagger.
Cool.
The dagger you brought me is quite interesting. An artless design, but the construction is sound. Where in the temple did you find this?
In a Reaver's back.
Ugh.
Oh. He mentioned he was part of a larger clan. Maybe they took the whetstone?
Quite possibly. I know I've seen this design before.
The first 4 episodes were filmed over a month before the premiere. Oh, way over a month. I feel like it's been a while. So I'm gonna put the remote down for a second, just because I wanna sit down and talk about this for a minute, right? So scheduling wise, they could do, like I was saying before, where they do 6 episodes at a time, where they do Seekers for 6, Soldiers for 6, Schemers for 6, and that way, like, you know, that sort of stuff plays out that way. And depending on where they end up, they can either do crossovers or stuff, and Brennan will really have to railroad them into going into crossovers, which is why I kind of hope they hold off on crossovers for a while, because it will feel mildly railroaded when it happens. But I would like them to sort of avoid crossovers for a while. Or, on the other hand, they could do, you know, film 3 times a week, where they would get the Soldiers table, the Schemers table, and the Seekers table in once a week. That way you can save up. You know, you're filming 3 episodes a week. So you say you do 3 weeks of filming. You have 9 episodes there. You have 2 for the Soldiers. Then in the next month, you're able to do, like, more. Or you have 3 for the Soldiers. So the idea would be you save up on the Soldier stuff until you get to that crossover point. and then because they're all playing simultaneously, the crossover feels more natural. So we see things shot out of order. So while episode 6 was shot very recently for us in timeline, we then cut to the Seeker's Table, who was shot like months ago. And then we see that all play out. Then we go to the Schemer's Table, which was shot months ago. And while all that's playing out for us, they still get to shoot and build up even more stuff, which I think is what they're going to end up doing, right? Because this way they'll be able to like really be ahead, which also, in my opinion, means that we're not going to be getting a... You know how they had like Tox Machina and then Four-Sided Dive? I don't think we're going to get that for this campaign. I don't think we're going to get something like that for Armon in any way. I feel like if they do that sort of stuff, it'll be like at the end of an arc where hopefully some people aren't, totally ahead. They should be ahead of us by at least 8 to 10 episodes. Maybe more. I feel like it would be really safe for them to be ahead even further than that. But at that same time, they won't be able to do true Q&As or anything like that, right? I hope we have at least enough time to finish the arc before we switch back to another table. See, that's the thing, right? Some people don't want that. I've seen a bunch of people say oh, I want to have them go between every table every week and make it really feel like a West March game, where depending on the week, these players are in, blah, blah, blah. If you do that, in my opinion, you end up having the same problem a lot of people had with Campaign 3, which will be a pacing issue, right? Oh, I'm really intrigued in the Seeker story. Too bad I have to wait upwards of 3 to 4 weeks to see it, because if they take a week off here and there, we're going to have that pacing issue again. And it seems like that's the case. They're taking a week off, right? They're taking this week off because it's Halloween, which is crazy. And that means they're doing the dispatch thing, right? Which I think is a mistake.
Look, we rode past that statue of Thor earlier, when we left the Witch's Cave.
And what direction is that?
It's mid-morning. The sun is over there, so that's south. Southwest?
Good.
But, yeah, they should be a decent bit ahead. But at the same time, if they're too far ahead, that causes problems, because if they go to do a Q&A or something could slip, especially for those who are less tight-lipped about things, right? I can imagine somebody making a mistake and going, oh shit, I just spoiled something. So I don't know exactly how it all works. I wish they would tell us. This is the kind of information they need to share, in my opinion. Exactly how this works, so we can figure out, what the schedule is going to look like. I also think that they should do that for those people who don't really care to watch for, political stuff. If you don't like watching a game that's 99% RP, right? You don't want to watch the Schemer's Table. If you don't want to watch the Schemer's Table and you're stuck with the Schemer's Table for a month and a half, you're going to be upset. So I think they should really tell us what the schedule is going to look like for how they play the game. They should really be hey, this month is going to be these characters, this month is going to be these characters, blah, blah, blah. I think they should really do that, but they're not going to. They're definitely not going to, which is very upsetting, in my opinion, because, it would really help out certain people who don't want to watch a thing. You know what I'm saying?
I still can't read these. I told you. Oh, look. The witch's magic is still covering those scorn poles. Saves us some time.
Cool. Hey, Zodiac, if they do it right, this will feel like C4 with the arcs of each table being confined to each table. I mean C2. Oh, it'll feel like C2. Yes, I agree. I definitely agree. I am looking forward to how they handle it. That's for sure.
Hold on. Let me read this.
Well, read it, boy. Yeah, I do definitely think that this is going to allow it to feel very Campaign 2-ish with the whole everybody's going to have a dedicated story moving forward, which will be nice because, again, if you don't care for like certain characters, like say you don't care for Taisha, you know, like so few people do dislike Taisha. You know, like she's the most beloved character at the table. But say you do dislike Taisha and you don't want to watch her table. I feel like they should really like release a schedule so you understand like what table you want to watch and when they're able to, like when they're playing and all that sort of stuff. You know, they're not going to, but I feel like that would be a good thing for them to do. But unfortunately, I don't think they're going to tell us much. We're going to have to sort of figure it out as we go.
These ones look kind of sick.
Like, they don't need to tell us what the story arcs are going to be about or anything like that. They just need to, like, give us an understanding of what the schedule might look like. Because I already know people who have given up on Campaign 4. Like, I tried to get my buddies involved in watching it, and they're like, yep, can't do it. There's too much going on. And I'm sitting here like, well, shit. Like, I wish I could tell you that it's going to change, but I don't know if it will. You know? You know what I'm saying? I get you. I totally agree they need to do story arcs because it's like you said, the pacing and trying to remember what happened last will otherwise be tracking hell. Absolutely. I think, and it's funny, right? It feels like they're already falling.
Part is still down there, if you don't feel like climbing.
It already feels like to me mildly that they've fallen into the same trap that Campaign 3 did. So the way they're doing it as of right now, based on how it feels, they're taking the last week of every month off, and they are doing the, like, you know, like their one shots will be uploaded, but, and this is a big but, when is the fucking Ford and Jester thing going to be shown on YouTube and Twitch? Right? Their wedding happened already. They shot that. It's like 2 or 3 weeks old
Do you
now.
think I could carry her now?
No.
But
I said no.
Okay.
So for me, right, what they're doing is they've done the 4 episodes and they took the last week off. And then this Thursday is going to be the Dispatch one shot for Halloween, which I feel like is a mistake, by the way. They should be showing the Ford and Jester wedding. Because to me,
So who do you think carved the face in the
what this
mountain?
says is
You
the
know better
following
than I.
week is going to be the one where they
watch your
show
step.
the Ford and Jester
Carelessness will
thing.
only delay us.
Which means we're going to be
Right.
2 weeks out of watching Campaign 4 already. So they did the first 4 episodes. Now we have 2 weeks back to back where we're not getting Campaign 4. That's an issue.
Black press again. What do we do now?
We see if the witch was right.
But I don't know. I could just be wrong about that. Hopefully I'm wrong. And that
It's working. She was right.
in reality,
No. Let us finish this.
what's happening is we're going to get episode 5 the first week back in November, and then the next month, or like the next break that they take for the end of the month, will be the Ford Jester wedding. C4 is the week after the Dispatch one shot. How do you know? Have they said that already? I didn't see where they announced that. They didn't even announce the Dispatch one shot in the weekly thing. They said it in like a completely unrelated thing at all. Like it was totally unrelated. Unless I missed something. Which I very well could have. But that just means the Ford and Jester wedding, the thing that people have been wanting to see for ages, is still not going to be on YouTube. They mentioned the episode both times.
It's blocked.
The amount of times I feel like they've said something and then it just hasn't happened that way is numerous. So I don't know. I'm not going to disagree with you. I obviously can't. I didn't hear whether or not they're doing what they said they're doing. In the announcements before saying is it Thursday yet? I could be incorrect. I'll have to look. But that begs the question, when the fuck is the Jester Ford wedding going to happen? Because I would so much rather have that happening this week than this dispatch one-shot.
Used to visit the Midgard Mountains before they disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yeah, I guess they just up and left one day. No one knows why.
Perhaps they returned to their home.
Jotunheim? Maybe. I wonder if the face in the mountain was a tribute to some important giant.
Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Dispatch does not intrigue me at all. Like the whole thing
We made it.
doesn't
More black
intrigue me.
breath.
Which, you know, like the whole superhero thing, Did they announce who is in the dispatch one shot? I don't believe so, which makes me wonder if that means Aaron Paul isn't going to be there, because this is the game with Aaron Paul, right? My boy Jesse.
Matches the one on the door to Jotunheim and Tyr's temple. The giants did come here.
Who's in the one shot, Dream? Because that is important information. That being said, I'm not gonna recap it.
Back there.
Are you in a hurry?
No, but you normally are. I'm happy to keep exploring.
Aaron Paul is not in the one shot. Hurtful. That hurts my soul. My boy Jesse Pinkman's not there. What a shame. Oh, can't get rid of any of that shit yet. All right. Did they get Moist critical? That would be awesome. Penguin 0, Charlie. See, the whole, like... This is going to sound weird. I'm kind of over superheroes at the moment, you know? Like, Marvel movies are rough. Okay, Aaron, Yvette, hopefully I said that right. Matt, Marisha, Laura, possibly Travis, and a few others that I didn't recognize. Okay. Who is Aaron Yevit? I don't know who the hell that is either.
Is that a deer? I don't remember stories of a giant with a deer head. Wonder who he is. No way across. But there's a sandbowl.
What does it say?
No yoked beast, nor fearful thrall.
She's a voice
Nor rooted
actor?
tree,
Well, I kind of figured that.
know my call.
Nothing.
Okay, so we need to find the other thingy thing to go over here. Yeah, Charlie plays Sonar, the Man-Bat superhero. Oh, he's in the game? See, like I said, I am not interested in superhero stuff at the moment. There's very few superhero properties that like have me like excited right now.
Is that sap? In a cave? Weird.
There we go. So like this hasn't intrigued me at all. That's funny though that he's in the game. I do like how they're slowly moving to like
This place
YouTubers as celebrities for games. Like that's really cool.
Okay. That looks
Because a couple years ago, like YouTubers wouldn't have been considered celebrities unless you were like PewDiePie or something like that, right? But now, arguably, there's too many celebrity YouTubers now.
still no help.
Oh shit! Forgot to make that glow. Come on, kid, shoot it on your own.
I can almost make it out.
I personally like the look of Dispatch. I would play it if I had anything it's coming out on. What's it coming out on?
Is it the answer?
Freedom. Sure, that works.
Go ahead.
Sure.
Superheroes are overdone. Yeah. There's too many movies, too many TV shows. Arguably, there's not enough video games. Like, I wish there were more superhero video games out. But, like, right now, the only superhero video game that's, like, worth a damn is Marvel Rivals. And I enjoy that game. Don't get me wrong.
Thought maybe there'd be a bridge.
Your giants mean to test us further.
I get it not being your thing. It's not necessarily that it's not my thing. It's just that it's not... Because I love... Like, that game looks like a Wolf Among Us style game, right? Like,
Should I light it?
I love the Wolf Among Us. That was one of my favorite games of all time. So for me, it's just superheroes are overdone, especially like, I don't know. I just overall in media, I think superheroes are overdone.
These passages seem too small for giants. Why do you laugh?
Oh, you're serious.
I am always serious.
I forget. Mom always said you never took an interest in history. Giants are just a race, like elves and Holgerfolk. It doesn't mean they're big.
What of the world serpent?
Okay, in that case, giant also means big. There's only one of them.
I like the idea of giants being a race that aren't necessarily big. It's just the type of people they are. It's an interesting concept. Dispatch is literally a superhero game. Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, we need something like an Arkham game. Exactly. That's what I want more of. I want more Arkham-style games, which is why I'm excited for... fuck, what the hell is it called? I'm excited for the Wolverine game that's coming out. And normally, I'm not, like, the biggest Wolverine fan. So for me, I'm excited about that. Dispatch, to me, feels like... And I wonder if people are going to be upset by this... Dispatch to me feels like they're trying to capitalize on like the grittiness of The Boys and of like Invincible. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if it's like part of. I don't know much about the game, but it doesn't. I don't think it's related to any other superhero property other than itself. It's an interesting idea for a superhero game, especially as a Wolf Among Us style game. Actually, it's not. It's not a Wolf Among Us style game. It's not like a click and pointer. Because they tried the Batman as like a click. It's an original IP. So yeah, I'm saying, like, to me it feels like it's trying to capitalize on it. On like the grittiness of all those movies and stuff that's coming out, like The Boys, Invincible, and stuff like that. From what I've seen, it seems to be on the grittier side. But I could be wrong, and I'd happily be wrong about that. Maybe at some point in the future I might give it a go, but to me that's definitely not a streamable game. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's not necessarily something for me. I don't know. I when it comes to superhero games, I want it to be more like Arkham or more like Spider-Man. Like the Spider-Man PS4 is one of like the most fun times I've had in video games in a very long time. And even Spider-Man 2. I know a lot of people shit on Spider-Man 2, but I loved that game. That was so much fun. Just to be able to like swing around New York in an open environment like that. That's the way you play a superhero game. Even the Marvel Lego games, they fucking rock, dude. The Lego Marvel games where they get to be in like open world scenarios is so good. And it's shockingly good. The Wolverine game is made by the guys that made the second Spider-Man game, which was bad. I disagree, Knack. It's not the Boys or Invincible kind of game. It's kind of funny, and I can see it being something you could stream. It seems kind of like a short stream, about 5 to 6 weeks. Once every episode is out. So yeah, it is going to be episodic. Ugh. That's the one thing I don't like about like the Telltale games, is that they're episodic. I hate that shit. Give me the full game. That being said, you never pay full price for those games. You pay like $20 for the first one, and then like the next couple are like 10. I guess that would eventually equal out to full price, but still. It just, I don't know, the trailer is misleading to me then, because it feels like they're trying to have like some sort of level of grittiness to it, and that's just the vibe that I got off of it. So if my vibe is wrong, which it totally could be, that's just what it felt like to me. And I'm kind of, I don't know. I like The Boys and I like Invincible, but not everything needs to be like that, I guess. I don't know. I have a specific video game vibe for like superheroes that I like, and that game just doesn't fit it for me.
I know that was there.
Boy, another light crystal.
But again, that's just me. If you like that game Dream, all for it. You know, November 11th of November is when every episode is at. Oh, okay. So the first one's coming out, and then like very quickly thereafter, the next couple will come out. That's not a bad move. But yeah, I'm of the opinion that superheroes are mildly overdone in most media. And the type of superhero game, like, and this is going to be funny to say, right? I'm a big Arkham fan. So, the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, that game to me was like a slap in the face because I love Arkham, right? I love the Arkham style games and all that sort of stuff. And that game supposedly is in the same verse as the rest of the Arkham games. But it sort of like destroys the lore of it, right? Like it sort of ruined the lore of those games, which sucks. But I started playing that game because I was able to get the deluxe version of, like I got the deluxe version of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, for like $12. Like I got the deluxe version, the version they were trying to sell for like $120. I got it for $12. So I was like, screw it, I'm gonna try this game out. I tried it, and it's kind of fun. Like, the gameplay is fun. The story's ass, but the gameplay is so much fun. In my opinion. Like, I feel like the gameplay was so close. And did either of you guys ever play the Gotham Knights game that came out? That game that also should have just been a sequel to the Arkham trilogy and, you know, follow it up because it should have been, because that would have been awesome. But, like, story-wise, that game is rough. And, like, I understand the hate that it got. Gameplay-wise, it's actually kind of sick. Which is annoying. There's still guys alive? Doesn't look like it.
Look here.
Yes, sir.
I've been seeing clips of other people playing the first 2 episodes, and I quite liked it. I just want to reiterate, I get why you don't want to stream it, so it's okay. Yeah. The disrespect of the Suicide game was horrendous. Worst shit game ever. Again, the gameplay was fun. Or the gameplay is fun. I'm still currently playing it. The way they disrespect the Arkham lore is ass, though. So if they ever come out with a sequel to the Arkham franchise, I really, really want them to be like, that stuff that happened in the Suicide Squad was a different version. Just a different universe. The Wolf Among Us 2 is apparently still happening, by the way. Or, I don't believe you. The amount of no news that has come out from that game is atrocious, and I hate not seeing anything for that game. We've had more news about Kingdom Hearts 4 than we've had about fucking The Wolf Among Us Part 2, which is insane for me to be able to say as a fan of both franchises. Okay, I'm gonna open that bad boy up. But yeah, I understand like people wanting other people to play that game. It is a small indie company that I'm sure people really want to see succeed. And I want to see it succeed because that's the same company that's going to be working with Critical Role to make their game. So I would love it for them to be able to succeed. I don't want to like, you know, make it seem like I don't want them to succeed. I do want them to do well, and I do want them to succeed. But that game from what I've seen, doesn't look like something that I personally would enjoy. But that's just me. I'll take a look at it again just to be safe, but we'll see.
Ancient, but that works too.
So, what ideas for C4 videos are you thinking about making? I have a couple. I have a couple rooting around in my brain right now. I kind of want to talk about how cool and important Theozy is to the overall story. Just because I feel like that's necessary to talk about. Was that right? Fuck. Okay, so that one's right. Oh, wait a minute. Does it say it on the back? It says B and R. I know that's not what they are, but that's what I'm saying they are. That looks like an N, but maybe not. Yeah, so I have a couple of ideas rooting around my brain for future videos. Oh, that's a B. That's the right one. Started Divinity Original Sin 1 for the first time yesterday. The game is cool, but holy moly, it's not user-friendly. That's what I heard. Yeah, you mentioned the Duma. You mentioned the Duma. The sequel makes it easier for new players to play. That had to be all of them, right? No, so it's B and R. Let me check what this one says currently. Okay, so I've got the wrong one up there. Is that what I'm seeing? That's a B. That should be right. Oh, it is right. I'm silly. I just didn't look. It's funny, we're talking about like superhero games and stuff. Right now, as it currently stands, there is only one superhero game that I want to see above anything else. I want to see a Superman video game. I am sick and tired of them being afraid to make a Superman video game. They need to make one. And they need to display Superman the way that Superman should be displayed.
This is a lot of bodies.
The James Gunn movie is a great movie. But it's so tainted.
Well, they look like men, not giants.
Correct. Be you seeking treasure? See the traps?
Oh yeah, lucky for us they set them all off.
Be grateful these stay dead.
It's so tainted by the Zack Snyder version of the fucking movies, right? Like the Zack Snyder movies made people think that Superman's this fucking Jesus substitute, which I hate.
What does it say?
Sir! Oh, this is Durathron, one of the 4 stags of the World Tree. He's supposed to watch the entrance to Jotunheim while the giants sleep. Think he's still there?
I do not know.
But as far as I'm, concerned, a superhero game would be awesome. Do you want to recap every mystery lingering question we have from the Overture? I would like to finally get the KOTOR remake they promised like 7 years ago. Hey, you know what? I agree with that. I mean, there's so many mysteries right now, dreams, like just surrounding everything. Like the entirety of what Theozy was doing with all those items is still like hanging over the entire, the entire show. Like that's the whole point. Like, to me, like, I said that about The Seekers, and I 100% believe that that is what The Seekers' story is about. Them figuring out what the fuck Theozy was doing with all these items. I initially thought that they'd be going after the Song of the Night, the Stone of the Night song, but evidently that wasn't the case because it's already been dealt with. So, in my opinion, now it's going to be more so focused on the mask and whatever the paint is. Not that I think the paint is going to be overly important, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I think in the long run, the story for the Seekers is going to be figuring out what the fuck Thiazi was doing, which is a fantastic idea. I'm excited for it. So, Thiazi lingering over the entire campaign is obviously a massive mystery, and I'm excited.
We find a way up.
I'm excited for that.
Wow.
And then on top of it all,
The highest peak in the realms. I think Mom knew this was the Giant's Mountain.
No, the request has been more complicated than she could have foreseen.
It's a name, I think. Brasley. It means terror. What's that? Weird. There's a
keep
candle all
talking.
tangled up with string and some sort of animal hide. Some kind of lantern? No wick, though.
That is of no use to us. The Bifrost lights our way.
boy. Alright, fast.
Hey, what do you think lit these torches? They're gonna need light.
Eyes open.
Also, I'm curious, so we kind of learned what the Takonas are doing to improve their station. Like, the whole, like, Wick's grandmother, like, saying that was a big secret. But then it kind of got revealed that they're, like, killing people off and strengthening their own realm of the dead. What I'm curious about is if there's going to be, like, a way to open Fairy. Like, the doors to Fairy sound so awesome to me. Like, the whole concept just seems really
Stop
cool.
that.
Come on, that was just... Okay.
So the whole idea of Fairy just sounds awesome to me. So I'm looking forward to any information about Fairy. Like, what the fuck happened to it? Like, she said, like, you know, the overflowing of dead not being able to pass into the next realm was the reason that, like, Fairy exploded. But why the fuck was Fairy affected by something that has something to do with a completely different realm? Like, why was Fairy the one attacked? I get the feeling the Takonis family actually, like, pushed the energy of all of that. Like, they killed, like, that's what they're doing. They're killing all of those souls, the extra souls, and they're using it to, like, make, like, weapons of destruction and aiming it at other, like, realms so their realm becomes the strongest. I think that's sort of what they might be doing, which I think would be really fun.
Whoa. What is all this? Where are we?
A mine. And if this claw reaches the summit, our goal is near.
Alright. How do you use it?
But who knows? Like, that's just a theory, right? The idea that this massive, like, collection of energy is, like, being used as a weapon. Like, there's no proof of that at all. I'm
Looks
just
like
suggesting a
someone's supposed
theory.
to roll on these.
So who knows? I would like it to be real, because it would be nice for one of my theories to hit one of these days. Because my predictions sure as shit don't. But what I will say is, I was able to tell that Bodor was evil from the beginning, and I will hold that for the rest of my life.
There's gotta be a way to make that claw work.
There's also the huge question of how do they
I think I see how
unfuck
this
the
works.
world without the gods?
The claw's on
True.
one side. And if we get this unstuck... Oh no!
God damn it, boy.
I think the rope's stuck under that rock.
That was careless.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Was it worth it or was it killing? Was it a huge mistake? I think they already know that
Stop!
killing the gods off was a huge
But
mistake.
maybe we can find our way up through there. After, you know, getting rid of those things.
They fucked it all up. I do wonder, like, how involved the majority of people were in making the decision to kill the gods off. Because it sounds like to me the Sundered Houses were around even back then, based off of what Grandma fucking Halovar said. Halovar, sorry. about how like their family was in a good place and then they fucked it all up. So it sounds like not everybody was like on the same side, which I think, you know, that's been made pretty clear. Like certain people weren't necessarily for the gods being killed off. Her being one of them. Which again, how fucking old is she? She'd be easily pushing 90, right? And that would also mean like, I mean, I guess not, but I don't really want to get into like what that entails. But what the fuck? Are these better? No, they're not better. At least not at the moment. When activate while aiming to slow down time, ranged attacks in this mode are more powerful. We're good. We need to just level up. We're getting fucking beaten by these guys a lot. I am curious overall though, but like it sounded like to me the Sundered Houses were among those who, one, didn't want the gods to be killed, and two, were affected the most by the death of the gods. That's true, because all of their, like, you know, their realms are sort of cut off now, right? Because we, as of right now, we don't know what realm the Halovar family was a part of, but if their connection to the sun god is anything to go by, it likely is some sort of connection to, like, the realm of light, maybe? Like, maybe theirs was the realm of the afterlife, right? You know, like, does that make sense? Does that sound like a sound theory? So to me, with their connection to that being cut off, and now the Royce and the Davinos family have their connection to their realms basically severed. You know, and my question with this all, right? Let me finish that statement first. So their connections to the realms are all cut off now, which has significantly weakened them, and it put the house of it put other houses in, you know, other places in a very like good spot compared to others. So like houses like Taconis, which was a realm that most people would be affected by in the future, like they owned the realm of they were connected to the realm of the dead, which that's where everyone has to go after they die. So theirs was really strong. So the question of, you know, I think with that being said, right, weakening other realms by making sure they're like closed, Fairy was still open after all of the gods left. So, and it was only closed recently, right? Like we know Thimble was allowed to come into this world after the gods were gone, long after the gods were gone. So the implication there means that the Taconises likely did end up using like their death energy to aim at Fairy to destroy it. I think we've figured it out. Like the Taconises absolutely were the ones to do that.
So what'd you find out there?
Lost items. You have some lost items. These are items that are left behind on the battlefield. Okay. Polished crest of courage. Hold to craft lost items. Interesting. It makes the world more complex and have many shades of gray in between clear good guys and clear bad guys. I don't know. I feel like the Taconis family seems pretty evil. Like, to me, they seem really bad. And I think it becomes like more clear, right? You think about it for a second, and it's like, yeah, it makes sense that these people who you know, want to like hurt these families in some form or fashion. The current standpoint of it all is that they've been able to do so. Like they've been moving in the shadows for so long that I was a little far away from my mic there. They've been moving in the shadows for so long, right? That they're able to truly stay away from clear bad guys equals House Taconis. Yeah, that's true. But I just do like the idea that we've been getting so far of all of these people who aren't necessarily like, you know, in some way or fashion, they're connected to the gods. And with those connections, they're able to affect other people's connection to the gods. And it's funny, with the gods all being dead and killed off, you would be like, okay, so they don't have a place in the story anymore. That's not the case. They've all been, like, even after death, they're still affecting the world in an insane amount of ways. So in truth, even though they're gone, they still very heavily... What fucking armor did I just make? It is the melted, or the metal plated solder. Yeah, okay, cool. We want the entire set, because I want more strength.
Packing bits off you. Something for the boy?
He can get some stuff
Got
too.
something else in mind? Share it with us.
So it's just funny to me, like the whole idea of this entire campaign was that the gods were gone,
What you need?
but their lingering effects on the world has made it so that they like effectively can fuck the world up even way after they're gone. 70 years later, that's a full generation of humans. That's 2 generations of humans, maybe even 3 depending on your family. So that's a long time to still be affecting the world, and right now it seems like the world is being affected the most by it. So what's really cool about all of this is just how...
What else?
I don't know how to word this. How sneaky the gods can be, how underhanded people can be with their attachment to the gods, right? Like, I just think that's such a cool concept that there's so many people
So, you sticking around for grains of wisdom?
that can, like, take advantage of this, like, power vacuum. And it's funny, right? Because for a lot of the discussion that we had after campaign 3 ended, a lot of it was like, oh, a power vacuum is going to be left behind. We're effectively seeing such a power vacuum in this world without us seeing, like, what happened for it to happen, right?
It is a mountain. Big.
Which I think is really cool. Again, I love what Brennan has done so far with the story. It's been loads of fun. It's been so unique as well. Like, everyone being connected to the same one character, it doesn't sound like a great idea, but then you think about it, it's like, no, this character is a martyr. So it's really just fun and really cool how it's been allowed to shape the world in the way that it has. I love how this game is playing out. It's just so much fun. Go back to being green so I can get health. Thank you. Valus also very clearly wants to bring back her goddess. Yeah, that's something else, right? With the realm of dead, right? They're powerful because there's so many dead souls. But the gods died. Does that mean the gods are in the realm of dead? Right? Like, the whole idea is the gods are dead.
More traps.
So, does that mean they're in the Taconis library of people they can call upon? Like, these ghouls are all dead. Are some of them past gods? Mayhaps. Mayhaps. Ah, I knew some of them had to be alive.
And you can move it? Looks kind of heavy.
I can move it.
It's a very rich and dynamic setting because Brennan's deciding that just because the world is godless, the world hasn't suffered consequences for killing them. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the 13 players, you actually really can build the rebellion. With 13 players, you can actually build a rebellion. Yeah, I think that's why it's cool. And the whole, like, I can still hear the falcons cry. Really, I think that should have been, like, enough for us to see where this was going. Like, this is clearly some sort of rebellion building campaign, which I think is cool and rather unique, right? Like, I don't think, like, in campaign 2, there was a chance for them to be a part of fighting against the Kryn dynasty, and they elected not to do that, which was a unique move to not follow a DM's player beat.
I see that.
Let's go.
If he goes by the D&D, they will drift through the ethereal plane. But we don't even know if that's a plane in this realm. So realistically, could they not be, if they did die, and they're like, you know, they are people who can go to the afterlife that they created, could they not be in the Taconis library of, I keep calling it a library, but could they be in, like, House Taconis' like realm right now, and with that happening,
Rogan, leave it.
What could they be for? There's something special about them.
it could really mess things up if that were the case, right? Like, the fact that the God of Death might still have, like, a fucking domain over everything because of his position as the God of Death, right? So it could really have, and it comes to the question of, do powerful souls equal, like do more powerful beings equal more powerful souls, right? Like, because I'm stronger than someone else, am I worth more in my afterlife, or is it like equal? Like, I start at 0 and you start at 0 when we die. Like, is that the case? Who knows? Like, this is why I really wanted lore videos from Critical Role before Ahriman came out. That way we'd be like, okay, so we have at least an understanding of how this world's lore works. And at the moment, we don't have that at all. So it's something we're going to have to learn as we move forward through the campaign, which, again, I have no problems with doing that. It's just funny to me that that is the case. Oh, fuck, did I miss that? Could I have kicked that down? Yeah, dum-dum. I truly do wish we get, like, or I hope we eventually get, like, a full document for Ahriman. Like, we get, like, an entire setting that sort of explains how many realms there are, who's in charge of what realm, blah, blah, blah. Did I go past it? I did, fuck. I love how we're having genuine conversations about where the story could be going and what character motivations could be. It really shows we're all equally invested. Oh, I hope so. I hope I'm invested in this game. It's only what's going to be one of my driving forces throughout the next 4 years of life, with how much like time I'm gonna spend on it. So I hope I'm invested in it, just a little bit. It is fascinating though to really, like, talk about where, like, the story could be going, because realistically, as of right now, we don't even know who, like, the real villains are, and I know that sounds stupid to say, but, like, which of the prevailing characters is going to end up being, like, the big bad, right? Because you've got, if you think about it, you've got Primus Taconis and then the entire Taconis family. You have Casimir, who is someone who's, like, a personal villain to, like, the main motivation for people moving forward. So,
Well, that looks heavy.
the idea of, oh, and there's the Halo of our family, who seems to want to be, they're playing keeping up with the Taconises, right? So you've got all of these different characters who are moving pieces across the board, and the players have to sort of react to it in a, in a different way than what would normally happen. So
Give us the way to the top.
we have all of these characters who could be the prevailing, like, villains of the story, because the Halo of our family has this fucking liquid that they're putting to places. Now, at the same time, they could all be like the main villains, right? And like different arcs are going to take out different people. Like the first arc is obviously them going after Casimir. So Casimir is going to be like the first villain of the story. No, it totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. Brennan has already answered this question. He said that he would create many bad guys and the players would decide through their actions who would become the big bad evil guy. Oh, I see. Interesting. So basically what I was just saying, how like, you know, each of them are going to like pick a character to go after and that'll be like the bad guy for the arc. So right now, the first arc that we're going to be having in campaign 4 looks like it's going to be Casimir. So he's the big bad guy for the soldiers table, right? That's what it feels like right now. And then at some point, we're going to come into contact with... What the fuck? Oh, hello. We're going to come into contact with, like, the next... well, obviously, like, the Halo of our family is going to be a villainous group for somebody. And then the Taconis family is going to be a villain as well. Whether or not we see a distinction between who's going to be what, we don't know, I guess. Like, could the Halo of our family be the bad guys for the schemers? Could the Taconis be the seekers? Honestly, I do think that the Taconis family makes the most sense to be, like, the seekers bad guy. Because if the seekers are going after answers about, like, the other realms and, like, what these items are that the Aussie grabbed, it only makes sense to me that, like, they go to Castle Taconis in a different realm. They're seeking answers at the Castle Taconis. So to me, I guess that makes the most sense. And, like, it feels like because the way that the Halo of our family is trying to keep up with the Taconis family, they're the ones moving the most politically. So maybe that makes sense, right? You have Casimir being the villain for the soldiers, the Taconis family being the villains for the seekers, and the Halo of our family being the villains for the schemers. I feel like we've nailed that. Casimir, House Taconis, Wick and Tyranny's family so far are the potential bad guys. I think they're all bad guys. They're not potential bad guys. I feel like what you were saying before about how they're all villains. That to me makes the most sense. They're all going to be the big bad guys for each arc, which I kind of like. The idea that, like, you know, every arc has its own bad guy. Campaign 3 didn't have that. Campaign 3 had the same villains the entire time, and we didn't really get the satisfaction of killing them until around episode 70 when we first killed Ratanish. So it's, you know,
Back to the wheel.
something we're going to be able to do sooner than later this time around. We're going to be able to have that moment where the characters get to kill somebody in a satisfying way earlier, right? Casimir is only going to be, like, I would say at best a level 5 villain, right? Like, if they're going after him this early. To me, the Taconis family has set itself up to have many different levels of people who are going to be villainous, right? You have Primus Taconis, who seems to be, like, the upper echelon, but you also have that white-faced individual who seems to be, like, also on, like, the upper level of stuff, which seems like it could be... Oh, shit. That feels like to me that it could be... Why am I spacing?
That should hold it.
I'm spacing so bad right now when I'm trying to make this point. So you have, you know, those two characters who are at the top of the ladder for the Taconis family, right? And then you've got the Etherin character who feels like someone who could have potentially died off right then and there in that episode. So that's possible. And then on top of that, you've got... That's the wrong button. Yep. I'm going to hit the save button here. So on top of that, for the Halo of our family, it also seems to be, you know, there's all the other sundered houses, right? So you've got Enfasten. He seems like he could be an early villain for either Taconis families or the Halo of our family, depending on which one ends up being Seeker and which one ends up being Schemer. So then you've got, like, that character sort of being there in the background. On top of that, you get the Cormorant house, who's also potential villainous. So you've got, they're not potentially villains, they are villains. So in my opinion, the way that you could move up the ladder in the, like the political section of the game, you've got at the low end, Likely and Fasten, he's at the lower end. And then you've got Cormorant, then you've got Halovar, then you've got Taconis. That seems to me to be like the level of like where people are. And Cormorant and like Halovar might even be tied because they seem rather dangerous. So if you're going up the political ladder of who you want to take out, and the schemers and the seekers are sort of working together, as you move up, you have Fasten, you have Cormorant, then you've got Halovar, then you've got Taconis. So that could be your progression for those two teams moving forward. To me, where it gets difficult is, what do we get after Casimir for the soldiers table? The soldiers are going to be the ones who sort of likely, in my opinion, get introduced to a new character like every arc. So for me, Casimir is the first one, and that's going to be like Thimble's villain. And then while we're in Timony, we're going to see like Cadigan's villain appear, and we're going to be able to learn about Cadigan a bit more, and we're going to be able to like have a whole story dedicated to that, which might feel totally separate from the rest of the table. And then eventually like Wick and Tyranny will want to go back, and they'll have to deal with the Halovar family. And then at some point we might also get like a Teor villain. So that to me feels like the most like unique way they could deal with it, where we've already seen the ladder for the political side, but the soldiers group has something completely different they can do. Julian versus Primus is going to be within 20 episodes of their arc. Maybe, but I feel like that's going to be death for Julian. And while we're talking right now, I am going to go to the washroom. So I'll be back in like a minute and a half. Okay. It does feel like the bad guys will be changing per table per arc as the story unfolds for them. For most of them, yeah. Oop. God damn it!
Do you think this goes all the way to the top?
We will see soon enough.
But I feel like Wick and Tyranny will be fighting their families the entire campaign
Feels strange up there.
in one fashion or another. That's another thing,
Heading
right?
into
Those
danger.
characters, the
Do not
demons.
concern yourself with what might be. Focus on what is, and be vigilant.
Yes, sir.
like the demons at some point, they're gonna be like lower level Halavar stuff, right? Because they truly do feel like servants in some way. Also, there's the fucking Demon King. What the hell was his name? What was his name? He's still around too. So there's a villain there if they really needed to deal with one too.
There's a note. A giant's prayer. They're asking their ancestors to watch over them. To guide them home.
Boy,
Wait. I think I know how it works.
What the fuck was that demon guy's name now? I'm thinking about it. Yeah, like C2 when they got to kill Lorenzo in a few episodes. Oh yeah, like that. Unfortunately, I feel like that's what's going to end up happening to Casimir, where he gets axed off really quickly. The campaign feels very different from the Exandria campaigns already, in every aspect, including how BBEGs work. Yeah.
what did you write?
Kind of, yes.
I asked them to watch over Mother.
It's gonna feel more like campaign 2 as we move forward. He was called the Prince of Demons, I think. Yeah, but he had a name. A name did prop up. What about that one, boy? You gonna send that one into the air? Actually, that one's got a hole in it. Break stuff.
Stay back.
Jeez, kid, you almost got yourself killed. He was called. Thanks, Dream. That might be the most like smart-ass answer you've ever given.
More tests.
The Prince of Demon. Yeah, but she said his name. Like I feel like she actually said his name.
Good thing, too. Well, good for me, anyway.
I'll have to go find it. What the fuck?
Oh, come on!
That is not helping.
See you on the other side.
Do. These things move rather slowly.
Ready yourself, boy.
Maybe Duma might be able to give us his name if he does his lore channel. True. I just have to go back and watch that episode where she drops the name. I think it was episode 3, so it wouldn't be too hard to find it. And stay down. He definitely had a name, and I can't think of it right now. She mentions his name in episode 3 during the bathtub conversation. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I want to remember what the hell it was, what his name was. Sorry, my bad. Didn't have time to mute the sneeze. There's just so much. It is so layered. Like, I think what I'm going to end up doing is, because I haven't done it yet and I need to do it, I'm going to...
May not be as long a way up as we thought.
I'm going to re-watch all 4 episodes. And if I missed anything, like, because I feel like that's what I want to do, like, at the end of every month. Like, I want to do, like when they take their breaks, because it seems like that's what they're doing still. I'll make a video called, like, what you missed episodes 1 to 4 sort of deal, right? Like, that sort of thing. That'd be a fun type of video to make.
Or not. Are we still too heavy?
I just gotta go to the episode and come back and tell you, oh, that's fine, you can do that.
Moving again. Hey, when we get to the summit, how far do you think we'll be able to see? The lake? The world serpent? Our house?
We will see when we get there. Until then, eyes open.
Boy, shut up. That will definitely help your issues over the monthly breaks, for sure.
I'm fine. Just lost my balance for a moment. You know, for someone so strong, you sure worry a lot.
It serves me well, and how I keep us alive.
What do you mean issues over the monthly break?
Not a terribly fun way to live.
I don't like the monthly break. I don't think that's an issue. I think it's reasonable not to be a fan of the break. Get chopped. Get chopped up again, sucker.
How'd I do?
I see improvement. Be ready.
I see improvement. Good dick. Eat that. One, two, three, attack. I would read chat because I can see it moving, but I am a little preoccupied at the moment. There you go, Kratos. Tell him to
How
do it
was
nice
that
job.
for fun?
I get it. I should worry more. Is this where we get off?
No, we are stuck.
The High Prince. Oh, right. That's why I didn't remember it, because it's insane. How the fuck are you supposed to remember that?
I do not know.
The Shadow of Suffering. We'll call him that. The
Definitely.
Shadow.
Oh boy.
Yes. Now be ready.
How the fuck are you supposed to remember that? And it just rolled off the tongue for Tyranny too. Like Whitney did her fucking homework for this. She did such a great job. Oh right, I forgot there's a big ass troll here, isn't there? Ogre, that's not a troll. He's an oligarch. You Googled it. Oh yes. I don't know how the hell you're supposed to pronounce that shit. I'm sure somebody does. But this is what I mean, right? Like, whenever I end up having to, like, read their names off the thing, I'm always like, someone's gonna say something stupid about me mispronouncing the name. How are you supposed to pronounce that? That name is ridiculous.
Stuck again.
I know.
Let me push. Here we go. And you know what's funny? I used to complain sometimes about the names that Matt would give us. God damn it! I want Matt's names back so badly. Like, dear Lord, some of Brennan's names are insane.
See,
Like, absolutely
Father,
crazy shit.
After we scatter Mother's ashes, what then? What comes next?
nothing comes next. We go home.
That's it? The adventure is over?
For now. But we will have much to do.
Zodiac
You
can
were
make no
right
assertions
earlier
about
on the
being able to
boat
read
after
good
cutting down
Bandit.
the
Damn
last
right.
tree. You said it felt like something had changed. And it has. And our home is no longer safe. But it will be again. And we must continue your training.
Okay.
That made it look like something was about to drop down and
We're
attack
almost
us.
at the summit. Nothing's gonna stop us.
There it is.
Calm yourself, boy, and stay behind me.
Yes, sir!
Focus up.
Oh, shit. Hey, yo. No need to be a jerk. Let go of our thingy. Okay, that's not what I meant.
What are you doing?
Be ready. Hold on.
Oh, we're being dragged out of the way.
Phew. That was intense.
Hold.
Whoa, what was that?
Do you want to do a video about how different C4 feels from C1 to 3? At some point I could do that.
That looks like a root of the Yggdrasil tree. Is that its sap?
Crystallized sap. And there is power inside.
It is true though, there is a massive difference between them all. Like even from C1 to C2 has massive
I
differences
can't believe
between
we
it.
fought a dragon.
And
I was
again,
aiming for his
C
eyes, but I kept losing my footing. Do you think this is their home? Did they move in after the giants left? Or are they why the giants left?
Boy, the air grows thin here. No more questions. Breathe.
Yes. I see.
even from 1 to 3, there's a bunch of differences between them all. Was campaign 3 as different as they initially promised? No, because I remember that was a big deal at the beginning of campaign 3. They promised that things were going to be different this time around, and then it wasn't so different to the point where it felt like it was totally unrelated. But the differences between campaign 2 and 3, for instance, they were far more willing to reference older characters in campaign 3 compared to campaign 2.
Can you kill something that big?
Of course.
If we can catch it off balance.
I can distract him.
What are you doing?
We have to help him.
Break right. Find an angle. Wait for my mark.
Thank you. Hey, Ugly! Over here!
I'm the fucking god of war. I'm gonna kill this thing easy. I wish he would say something like that. That'd be so funny. But yeah, the differences between them all, they're there from 1 to 3. But campaign 4 is definitely the biggest departure. There's the obvious stuff: 13 players, new world, and a new DM. That's obvious. But that's not what you're talking about when you say differences between them. But one of the big things is obviously the whole West Marches thing and how they're going to be able to split off and do different things. But I like the idea that we're going to be able to see truly different types of stories. From campaigns 1 to 3, a lot of the stories were very similar to each other in the sense of they were all protecting one's home, they were all protecting one's world, and they were all protecting their families and stuff like that. Whereas in this one, there's going to be a political one about revenge, right? Revenge is going to be a big deal for a lot of these characters, and some of them are going to be revenge in the sense of what Thimble's going to do to Casimir, get revenge purely based on the fact that she wants to murder him. But then there's going to be revenge for a character like Julian, who isn't going to be searching for one way to avenge his family. He's going to look to murder a bunch of the Taconuses, but then on top of that, he's going to probably also look to somehow the ones that he can't kill, for instance, he's probably going to look for ways to like destroy the family name. So not only is he going to be able to find a way to kill them physically, he's going to look for ways to kill them politically, which is going to be something that I don't think we've ever seen from Critical Role realistically, right? Like, beforehand, it's mostly been about, you know, can we just kill the guy? But in this campaign, there's going to be moments where it's like, can we, like, ruin them to get revenge for our family, or to get revenge for my brother, or to, you know, stop them from doing this insane political thing that they're doing. R1 to block stomps. Cool. What the fuck is this? Okay, give me a sapling. So I gotta pay attention. This fight's très difficile. Sapling. There we go. Now we get to brutalize. Not everyone is going to agree with everyone, correct. That is true. A bunch of them are going to look at things differently. Like, the way Wick will want to deal with stuff compared to the way that, like, Julian will want to deal with stuff is going to be vastly different between the two characters, which is fairly interesting to really think about it. And yes, that stuff would happen, but it's probably going to be seen differently from across a lot of places, right? Like Taisha, Wick, and Julian are all going to see things differently. Octus is going to see things differently from Julian and Wick and Taisha based on a few of their, like, family bonds and shit like that, right? Like, whereas before it's like, should we kill this guy or should we not? It's going to be like, how do we deal with this family versus how should we deal with, like, the repercussions of all this stuff? Because they're going to have to think of the consequences more, right? Based off everything that we know so far about the campaign, the consequences of their actions is going to be a much bigger deal this time around than would have been for, like, if Grog killed a guy in a town beforehand, right? Like, Grog killing a dude because he's a bad guy wouldn't see as much consequence. Whereas if Julian were to try to kill a Taconis member right now, whether it be like a low-level one or he tries to attack like a high-level one, and he ends up killing him, the other Taconis families, or like family members, are going to try to pursue him in some way. And they're going to, like, actively seek out Lady Aranessa, and they're going to try to kill her.
Boy, are you okay?
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying?
I have a plan.
I will read what you said.
Be ready to lower the crane on my mark.
But
I don't know how this thing works.
I do not care.
I have to
Be
fight.
ready.
Oh, fuck. Beat it. Oi. That was uncalled for. Attack. Oh, good. Electricity stuff. I'm making my way. Come on, blow up. The fuck is that? Boom. Shoot something else. Please. Shit. No. Come on.
No!
Oh, fuck. That looks insane. Jeez. I love how cinematic this game is. Oh, and he just blew up his neck. Boom. Badass. Jesus.
Wow. We actually did it.
We?
And you!
But nobody's killed a dragon for hundreds of years. Not since the grand culling of the worms. And unless I'm mistaken, you did all that for me.
You are mistaken. The dragon was simply in our path, nothing more.
You deny it all you want, but you saved me, and that deserves compensation.
I like that. Take whatever he gives us, boy.
Braided mistletoe arrows, straighter than Heimdall and perfectly weighted.
Thanks?
Oh. Okay. Hold on. Ooh, not that.
He's got a bag of holding.
Have you seen my brother again?
Yeah. He said you lost your talent.
Oh, and that I'm selfish? No. I'm sure. That I value a weapon's look? No. Over its purpose? That I'm pretentious? No. And uptight? Fussy? I know what he thinks, but he can't hurt me any. Ah! Burn that.
I do not have time for this.
No. Wait.
I love Sindri. He's so funny.
I have a better idea.
What?
I just need a tooth from that dragon.
Okay. Yes, exactly. C4 feels more grown up and complex story-wise, where a big punch up with a god eater solves the world's problems. I guess that's true. That is a little weird. It feels a lot more complex, where not everyone is going to agree with everyone's choices. It feels a very good point. It feels like some mistakes will have devastating consequences down the line too. It feels more like Game of Thrones was supposed to feel, and was like when it was good. True. Schemers episodes being all about how to kill someone without getting arrested is a very interesting point. Yeah, I think that's what a lot of it's going to end up being for them. Kratos going full Shadow of the Colossus on a sick dragon was not on my bingo card. Hey, it's one of the best parts of these games. He's so badass. And unlike Shadow of the Colossus, we don't die after fighting him.
Oh, never mind. So unclean. so unclean. Oh, the smell. Perfect. That should do. Oh.
Geez, Sindri, you don't have to be such a baby.
Yeah. I am not touching that. Just hold it out. Now, run that along the string of your son's bow. Just humor me.
Fine. Boy, come here.
Atreus, your bow.
Two passes should do it. Gently, now.
Shock arrows. Dope.
Whoa.
Oh, sure. Now you're impressed. I see. Figured it out on your own then. Just, never mind. I wasn't just explaining the beautiful and complex artistry of my craft or anything. No, just anything to help you. Yep.
Well, Sindri, we already had it figured out. You don't have to be all
So
butthurt
up we
about
go.
it. Okay. We can upgrade the chest armor we're wearing, which I'm going to.
That looks amazing.
Then we're also going to upgrade the
Fine
bracers.
piece of work. If I say so.
And the waist.
Wear it in good health.
because it looks dope. Is there anything else we can upgrade while we're here? Nope. I can get a better resurrection stone the next time. It hasn't worked yet. I have to press square. That's why it hasn't worked. Sometimes you gotta pay attention, dum-dum. Okay, is there anything else that we can grab while we're here that's slightly better? It does not look like it. Any artifacts to sell? Yes. Some hack silver is always good. I guess we can get rid of this resurrection stone and buy the better one. Bam. Much better. And I think that's it.
Was there more to discuss?
No. Alright.
Feels like it wasn't that long ago we were hunting deer. Now we fought dark elves, trolls, and ogres, and a dragon. I feel like we could be anything now.
We win because we are determined, disciplined, not because we feel ourselves superior.
Sure, I know. It's just, it feels good to be strong, you know?
Yes, I know.
Don't get cocky, it's about to get rocky. Is it just me, or will the revenge story turn out to be more morally questionable when we finally catch up to Casimir? There's a good chance that Casimir has a good reason for doing what he did, but based on the story as of right now, no. It seems like he did what he did purely out of being an asshole. So I hope it doesn't end up being morally questionable. I'm kind of done with like stories not necessarily following through on villains being villains. It's part of the reason why so many people think like Star Wars and like any Disney property these days are sort of falling flat, because a lot of properties don't allow their villains to be, well, villains. So we sort of get these characters who feel justified in doing what they're doing.
Want me to shatter it?
I think a large part of it comes from like Thanos,
Like this.
right?
Strange though. That one didn't completely blow up.
Like Thanos had in his mind, he believed he was right, sort of deal, right? And, you know, he ends up winning and blah, blah, blah. He feels justified in what he's doing. But killing half the people is still a bad thing to do, and he's not like, he doesn't for like, in his mind, he's not like, I shouldn't have done that, because he tries to do it again, right? Like the whole thing with Thanos is, you know, he's going to do it again. So, in that vein, when you get a lot of villains nowadays who have reasons for doing what they do, right? Like, it's sort of boring. Like, sometimes a villain should just be evil. Like, it's okay for a villain to just be evil still. Like, we don't specifically need people to not be evil. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I'd argue it's a bit more boring when they're not evil. So hopefully Casimir is truly a villain. That's all I'm saying. I don't hate the idea of maybe there being more of a reason for him to do what he did. In fact, I kind of want to know why he did what he did. Like, I'm hoping there's more to it than just, you know, well, it's just about the execution. Is it, though? I'm kind of just tired of the idea that the villains are sometimes right. You know, like, I hate that idea. Like, it's been, in my opinion, that trope, if you will, has been slightly overused. And Hollywood does this. Not even just Hollywood. Like most like, how do I want to put it? Most media does this, where they overuse tropes, like video games, comics, movies. It doesn't matter. TV shows. They start to overuse tropes that, like, for a while was really fun and really engaging to watch and be a part of. And then it becomes overused. Like I said, Thanos is a good example of a character who sort of started this whole, like, he has a reason for it, and he, like, but his execution is really good because he thinks he's right sort of deal, right? And like you said, execution is important.
Look, there's a bridge over there. But how do we get to it?
But I also believe that it comes down to, like, the fact that sometimes you don't need your villain to be secretly the good guy. In my opinion. I don't know. Y'all can disagree with that if you want. But what made characters like...
Now it's stuck on the other side.
What made characters like...
I will never get tired of shattering things with this.
Why can't I think of his name? Walter White in Breaking Bad, so fun. Was he went from a character who we wanted to cheer for and root for to being the bad guy. Unapologetically the bad guy.
Coming out of his armpits? I think that might be Odin stabbing him.
So yeah, I don't know. I like watching people be the bad guys and being them unapologetically. That is a lot more entertaining to me than he does all this stuff and then he justifies it and then we're sitting there like, well, yeah, I guess, but you're still an asshole. So now we're sitting there looking at a character going, sure, I guess what you did makes sense. Doesn't mean I like you. So, you know, I feel like some characters you can do that with, but it's just getting overused. That's all. That's all I'm saying. The overuse of a trope gets boring. Now, is there tropes in there in like media that I'll never get over, or I'll never be like that? There's too much of this. Absolutely, one of my favorite tropes of all time is
I think I'm getting the hang of this.
the. You guys actually made fun of me for it not too long ago. One of my favorite character tropes is like. I'll call it the single dad character trope. So like I love characters like Joel, or I like characters like Geralt of Rivia, or I like Kratos, or I like Mandalorian because like the whole story is him, like the guy sort of learning to teach his, I guess you'd say children or child. And like he's sort of learning from the child at the same time sort of deal. That's one of my favorite parts of The Witcher. And I'm reading The Witcher books right now. And my God, is it so good. Like the way that they're able to tell the story of Geralt learning about a bunch of things like through Ciri is just so good. I love that shit. That shit's awesome. That's my favorite trope and it'll never die for me. Yeah, my villains in D&D are true villains because I want my players to celebrate the victories and not get PTSD. Exactly. What did you think about the Mando trailer? The Mandalorian and Grogu? I think that looks awesome. People are saying stupid shit like it looks like an extended episode of the television show. And all I have to say is no shit. Because that's basically what it is. So, I don't know. People complain about everything, man. The movie's not even out yet. And if they're talking about visuals, I'm like, The Mandalorian has had some of the best visual CGI in fucking ages. I love the volume. Do you guys know what the volume is? So instead of making a bunch of CGI backgrounds, what they do is they make this like circular set that's like a LED screen, I guess, if you will. And it's like 360. So like they put like a bunch of things in it and there's like a bunch of stones in it. And then like you just film in there and it makes it look like you're in this big area when you're not. The volume is one of the coolest looking things for like a visual storytelling like medium that I've seen in ages. And The Mandalorian uses it perfectly. And then people bitch about it. Like it looks awesome. It looks like they're filming on location when they use the volume. So it's just annoying to me when I see people go like, oh, it looks bad. It doesn't look bad. It looks fantastic. It looks so good.
Not long now, Mom.
Overall, what do I think about the trailer? It looks amazing, and I will never watch another trailer. See, the thing that I always do for trailers, I'll watch the first one, and then I'll never watch the follow-up trailers. For me, I've stopped watching trailers ever since the
Summit. We're so
Thor
close.
Ragnarok trailer.
Your quiver.
Strap broke when we fought the dragon. It's all right. I can hold it.
Stop.
Overall, the trailer looked dope. I'm so excited for that movie. I can't wait. It'll be the first time in ages I go to the movie theater for a movie.
Broken quiver will slow your draw. Pain we endure. Faulty weaponry we do not. This will do for now. Good?
Good.
Go.
Faulty weaponry, we do not. Badass
Steady, boy.
line.
Mind your footing.
Okay.
What did you think of the Mando trailer? Get off my mountaintop. There's not a footprint to be seen, yo. Just gotta let it go. Fall off the mountain. Just imagine Kratos singing "Let It Go" as he beats people up here. That'd be so fucking funny. There you go. Fall off, sucker. Number 2. Number 3. Aw, come on. Get off my mountain.
How'd I do?
Adequate.
I will go watching the original Psycho in cinema next weekend. Yeah, I forget the last movie I saw in theaters now that I'm thinking about it. Make sure you don't arrive 20 minutes late. Are people doing that, arriving to movies late? I'm always at a movie theater super early. It's just, I hate being late to shit. That's so dumb to me. Oop. Distant voices. Nothing to collect. I think the Mando trailer looked solid because compared to season 3, it looked like it was actually about Mando and not about 60 other characters.
You
This
hear those
complaint
voices
does not
too,
make
right?
any sense to me.
Yes. Be silent.
Season 3 was awesome.
That sounds like the same man who came to our house. You said you killed him.
Shh. I see you brought company this time. Must be important if the sons of Thor deign to grace me with their presence. Tell me, you two still tripping over yourselves to impress Daddy?
The tattooed man. Tracks show he now travels with a child. Where would they go next?
Why would I know that?
You're the smartest man alive, aren't you?
Smarter than all the dead ones, too.
You help me, I help you. Tell me where they are, and I'll talk to Odin.
Your father won't let me go, Balder, and he won't let you kill me. You have nothing to offer me, so take your questions, take your threats, take these two worthless wankers, and piss off!
When no one's looking, we'll be back for your other eye.
Don't you forget, we're everywhere.
We really are, aren't we?
Sans 60 million other characters is an improvement, yes. In Mando Season 3... Okay, fuck climbing the mountain. Give me a second. In Mando Season 3, Mando was merely a little side character who didn't impact the story almost at all. What? Okay.
The very topic of conversation.
Hard to disagree, but we'll talk about that
Tattooed
now.
man traveling with a child.
Boy, check that path. Make sure we're all alone.
But we just saw them leave.
Do as I say.
He doesn't know what you are.
And I would keep it that way. Who are you?
Me? I'm the greatest ambassador to the gods, the giants, and all the creatures of the Nine Realms. I know every corner of these lands, every language spoken, every war waged, every deal struck. They call me Mimir, smartest man alive. And I have the answer to your every question.
Why does the son of Odin hunt us?
Okay, there are a few gaps in my knowledge. But Odin's had me imprisoned here for 109 winters. I'm a clever lad. I can piece it together. I promise. Just given time.
Nobody there, just like I said.
The boy's mother is dead. She wished her...
She wanted us to spread her ashes on the highest peak in all the realms.
Oh, then you've come to the wrong place, little brother. The highest peak in all the realms is not here in Midgard. It's in Jotunheim, realm of the giants.
No!
That could not be what she meant.
Take a look. This is the last known bridge to Jotunheim in all the realms. See that mountain? Looks like a giant's finger scraping the sky. That's the highest peak in all the realms. No here.
Can't we just take that bridge? We have a Bifrost.
When the giants destroyed all other bridges to their realm, they locked this one up with a secret rune. If it still exists, only a giant would know it.
And all of them left Midgard a long time ago.
True. But today, the winds of fate have kicked up a strange vortex of coincidence. Fact is, there's only one person alive who can get you where you need to go. And luckily for you, my schedule's wide open.
We're going to Jotunheim, right?
It's your best and only move from a tactical standpoint. It's the one place the man who cannot be killed won't follow you.
What do we do?
Yes!
First, you need to cut off my head.
Wait, what?
Odin made sure that no weapon, not even Thor's hammer, could free my body from these bonds. But fortunately, you don't need my body. The trick is, we need to find someone who can reanimate my head using the old magic.
Old magic. There's a witch of the woods. She knows the old ways.
And she'll help. She might do worth a try.
But if she fails, he will be dead.
He tortures me, you know. Every day, brother. Odin himself sees to it personally, and believe me, there is no end to his creativity. Every single day.
I like his eye.
This isn't living.
Very well.
Oh, I can't watch this.
Ugh. You watch me kill everything else, boy, but not this.
In case you can't resurrect me, there's something you need to know. Boy, the longer you wait to tell him his true nature, the more damage you do. He will resent you, and you may lose him forever.
There's much about me I would not have him know.
So you value your privacy more than your son, eh?
I'm going to cut off your head now.
Good enough.
One swift chop. All right.
Yona. We're going to Yona. We're going to find the long-lost realm of the giants. That's...
Inconvenient.
Yeah, that's just what I was going to say.
Okay. We're going to hit the save button, because this will be where we stop playing the game. But I have to fucking dispute this nonsensical claim. Okay. So, it was all about... I'm going to read all this out. It was all about Bo-Katan, Jack Black's wife, and so on. Knack doesn't feel that Mando felt like the main character of Season 3, a bit similar to The Witcher show in which The Witcher did nothing at all. Personally, I agree with Knack. His story felt done in Season 2, and it felt like they didn't know what to do with him after bringing him back. Yeah, exactly. The only cool thing in season 3 was the starship battle over the Isles and water. Otherwise, it was useless. Okay. Let's take a step back for a second. Right? We'll play some good old God of War music here, so we have something nicer to look at than the pause screen. Let's look like what? Where's the water? There it is. That's a nice view. So, okay. The show is called The Mandalorian, right? And theoretically, it's always been about the Mandalorian. The character Mando, Din Djarin. In his first episode, that no longer is the case. It is about Grogu and the Mandalorian, right? Grogu is the main focus of the story. He becomes the motivation for everything that happens for the next 2 seasons. Grogu gets captured, Grogu gets given up, and then he goes and fights him off, and then the Mandalorians have to like reveal themselves on the planet, so they have to hide and go somewhere else. That's the whole like crux of the first like 3 or 4 episodes. So, the show has always been about Grogu and the Mandalorian the entire time. Season 2 begins to set up more of the Mandalorian stuff. It begins to set up the idea that Bo-Katan wants to recapture Mandalore. That's the whole point of her story in the second season. The reason she wants the fucking Darksaber is so she can connect the Mandalorians back to one group. She wants to take the, I believe they're called Deathwing, which is the organization or the creed that Din Djarin is with, and she wants to connect them back with her group that she was with, the Owls. She wants to bring them all back together, and the best way to do that for her is to claim the Darksaber. That is the whole point of her story, and it begins in Season 2. Now, take a quick detour, because at the end of Season 2, Grogu gets taken by Luke Skywalker, and then in Book of Boba Fett, or as I like to call it, Mandalorian Season 2.5, the two of them reconnect. The two of them... You're heading out, Dream? You're heading out, why? We're still talking here. This ain't Cope. Anyway, see ya, Dream, if you're heading out. But the idea is that they are building towards reclaiming Mandalore. That's the whole point of Season 3. So Season 2 starts the process of reclaiming Mandalore, the planet the Mandalorians are from. And when we get to Season 3, it starts off with him sort of trying to reconnect to Deathwing, and then he reconnects with Bo-Katan, and he doesn't really have a place with either. So eventually he goes down into Mandalore to prove a point that, like, you can go to Mandalore. And then he gets captured, so Grogu then has to sort of send out a distress signal to Bo-Katan. She then goes and helps save him from this thing that seems like almost like this like creepy little thing. So she saves him. That is nice for her. Then make a Bo-Katan show and don't do episodes like that, like the episode about cloning, about the cloning doctor and boring stuff like that. Okay, the cloning stuff is all leading toward the sequels. So that's and I know people don't like the sequels, but everything they've been doing for there's a bunch of stories going on at the same time. There's Mandalorian's story where he's trying to reclaim Mandalore with the Mandalorians, but he also wants to make a life for him and Grogu now. That's the whole point. They became Din Grogu and Din Djarin, right? They're a family now. They're a covert together. The two of them are together as a group, and like the Mudhorn is their symbol. So, and here's the thing. I agree making the Bo-Katan show would have solved Season 3's problems. I disagree, because the show is called The Mandalorian. It doesn't say The Mandalorian Din Djarin. It says The Mandalorian. To me, they're reclaiming what it is to be Mandalorian. So that's the whole show. And they wouldn't have been able to do it without Din Djarin going down to the planet of Mandalore and proving that it was livable. He was the first one to get to Mandalore in what? At the time it would have been 20 to 30 years. So he was the first one to go down and actually make contact from leaving the world. Eventually they ran into other Mandalorians who were still there, but he was the first one to go down there and truly see that it was still worth going to. He was the first one, except he wasn't. It was actually Moth. Is his name Moth Gideon? I always know him as Gus Fring, but Moff Gideon, he was the first one to, well, he wasn't the first one. He went down there to sort of make a secret base, if you will, and his whole thing, like that, the whole show is about reclaiming Mandalore. It's been that way from the beginning, right? With the whole idea of them being forced underground, literally living underground in the first episode. And then as the series continues, they learn more about the fact that like there's multiple culverts all around the galaxy and they have to hide in multiple different places. We start learning about like the lore of the Mandalorian, how their honor system works, how their like helmet system works. They're not supposed to take their helmets off. But then we see another group of Mandalorians and we learn about their group and their past. If you didn't watch like Clone Wars and Rebels and all that stuff, you learned everything you needed to learn about the Mandalorians through Mandalorian season 1 all the way to 3. You learn all of that stuff via season 1 to 3, right? You need that stuff. It's important. Do you lose context about Bo-Katan if you don't watch those shows? Absolutely. Bo-Katan is extremely important to Rebels. And, you know, if we're going to complain about, you know, Mandalorian losing its plot and him not being the main character, Bo-Katan takes over the Rebels TV show as well. She has like a 4 or 5 episode arc dedicated to her completely in season 3. It is all about her reclaiming Mandalore. So again, well, or at least starting to reclaim certain parts of the galaxy for the Mandalorians. So realistically, everything in the Mandalorian show, even if it's just a subplot for a while that turned into the main plot, is a part of like reclaiming Mandalore. The whole show is about that. Everything builds to it. So complaining that he loses his spotlight when there's other people who are going to be leading Mandalore instead of him is a ridiculous claim in my opinion. I love the show. I think that Moff Gideon kind of died in a shitty way. The rest of that was fine. Also, you mentioned Jack Black and his wife, Lizzo. They were in one episode. I don't see how that's a big problem. I understand not wanting celebrities being in Star Wars, but celebrities have been cameoing in Star Wars since the first movie. So, I don't know. If you don't have to agree with me, but I am of the opinion that everything that happened in season 3 was built up to. It was, from the beginning. But you don't have to agree. No, we should not lead Mandalore. I'm with you on that. Exactly. Also, one of the coolest moments in the entire Mandalorian show happened in season 3, where he's dragged underneath the water by the Mythosaur. Yeah, she's the sister of Satan. I get it. Exactly. Oh, it's all necessary. To like all these things you pick up and learn throughout season 3 is important. Lizzo is actually Jack Black's actual wife. No, they're just the wife in the show. They're only married in the show. Also though, that show was a really good, like that episode in my opinion, as a Clone Wars fan, that was the episode where they deal with like the droids and stuff. So for me, as a fan of Clone Wars, seeing what happens to the droids after the Galactic, the Clone Wars, I guess, you get to see where the droids end up, and they're getting repurposed, and they feel abused, which I think is crazy and fun and interesting. But everyone forgets that because Lizzo and Jack Black are in the episode, which sucks. I love that show. I will defend Star Wars to my dying breath. I will defend the sequels from sequel haters. I will defend prequels from prequel haters. I will defend the original trilogy. I'll defend the KOTOR games. I'll defend anything Star Wars related, with the exception of most of Legends. There's too much of it to defend because a lot of it's bad. But I will defend it. I will find a way to defend Star Wars however I can. And I will do that for the rest of my life. I swear to God. Because there is really good storytelling there. Also, like I said, they're building up cloning in the background of these shows. They're building up cloning in the background of these shows because it leads to how Palpatine returned. It leads to how Palpatine was able to grow an army in the dark while everyone else was dealing with other stuff. Even the Ahsoka show deals with that stuff, right? Ahsoka is showing how there are people who are in the New Republic who are corrupt and are like ruining things slowly. So to me, that is important. That's showing that stuff leading into the sequels is important. But because people don't like the sequels, they don't want to look at the good stuff that happens because of those things. Simple as that. So, just saying. I do think that it's like people hate on these things because they don't want these things to do what the Clone Wars did for the prequels, which was add more context to make it better. Right? The Clone Wars TV show added so much context to the prequel trilogy that it made it better. Anakin's fall becomes infinitely better with Ahsoka Tano. And you don't have Ahsoka without Star Wars The Clone Wars. His fall makes sense with Ahsoka Tano being involved with everything. His disdain for the Jedi Order and their lack of trust in him, right? He said, you should trust me and you should trust my Padawan. She didn't do anything wrong. Yes, he followed orders, but he told them, like, hey, she's not the one who did this. I know she's not the one. And then she still gets blamed for it. Simple as that. She gets blamed for it, and then he loses her. He loses Ahsoka Tano in the Jedi Order because of what the Jedi did to her. The Jedi didn't believe her. The Jedi don't believe him. And this adds resentment to his fall in the third movie. So when added context comes in for the sequel movies, people want to feverishly ignore it because they know the same thing happened for their movies with the prequels, and they know eventually, somewhere along the line, they will add enough context to where the sequels are seen in just the exact same light as the prequel movies. And I know that's why people don't want to accept it. The episode with the Doctor was bad. The Jack Black episode is bad. The episode in which Mando only sleeps in a dungeon was bad. Most stuff was bad. That's 3 episodes of an 8-episode TV show, and I disagree with the Jack Black episode being bad. So you're at 2 out of 8. So I disagree, Knack. Yeah, I also defend the prequels aside from Jar Jar. Hey, I quote Jar Jar 24/7. Misa and Big Doodoo this time, Jar Jar. I say that shit all the time. That shit is awesome. I love Jar Jar. As stupid as he is, I still have a soft spot. Even Attack of the Clones had a lot of good stuff in it. Yeah, I don't know about that one. That's a little rough. Yeah, the Clone Wars is the best Star Wars aside from the original trilogy. I'll give you that. Context is one thing. Having to retroactively fix a huge plot problem in a show some fans will never decide to watch is quite another. That's literally the prequels. That's the same thing. I never said Star Wars writing was good. George Lucas is a fantastic world builder. What he is not a good writer. He can't write dialogue. He can't write love stories. Oh my god. Anakin and Padme's love story in Attack of the Clones is some of the worst writing, acting, and directing of all fucking time. Yeah, see? The Obi-Wan investigation is great in my opinion in Attack of the Clones. All the Anakin stuff is cringe. Your main character is cringe. Do you see the problem there? But then you add context to it, right? So you can add context to it, and I think it does help. Retroactive storytelling has been in storytelling forever. Forever. Even the original trilogy has retroactive storytelling. With Luke, oh, sorry, it's no, I am your father. Or my sister has the Force. And then he looks at Leia. So retroactive storytelling is in the entire franchise. It is built into its core. Retcons are the core of Star Wars. They retconned lightsabers in the 6th movie. Well, the 3rd movie. It was originally just supposed to be blue and red lightsabers. But because there was a blue backdrop, they couldn't have a blue lightsaber, so they made a green lightsaber. That is what's known as retroactive storytelling. They retroactively changed the lore of the Jedi to add more lightsaber colors. And from there, it's exploded. There's so many lightsaber colors now because of that. Because of a technical limitation in the medium, they had to, make something up. That's just a part of Disney, not a part of Disney. That's a part of storytelling and a part of Lucasfilm storytelling. The most well-written Lucasfilm property of all time, in my opinion, is fucking Willow. Willow is amazing, and it's such a fun movie, but it never got a sequel because it was such a niche idea. And it didn't need it. Like, in my opinion, Willow is like super well written, super well like directed, and super well acted. It is one of the few, like, in my opinion, like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 Star Wars experiences. Simple as that. Yeah, Windu only had a purple lightsaber because Sam wanted one. Precisely. That is precisely what I'm talking about. They make changes in the lore all the time. Better than Indiana Jones. Have you seen Willow? I think the first Indiana Jones is like right alongside Willow. I think Willow and Indiana Jones are probably like the top 2 properties, but I kind of give Indiana Jones like this side spot in all of it because it's not just George Lucas. It's also Steven Spielberg, one of the greatest writers of all time. So it's a little harder, and one of the greatest directors of all time. It is a little harder to be like, that's a Lucasfilm property because both of them are involved. So it's a little here and there, but you know, that's all I'm saying. You go watch Willow if you haven't seen it. You're a D&D fan, you will love Willow. Willow is amazing. Mad Mardigan is one of the best written characters of all time. And I will fight anyone who says otherwise. I love me some Mad Mardigan, and Val Kilmer's awesome. He's so cool. I think that's all I have to say. Hopefully my words inspire you to look at Star Wars in a different light. And if it doesn't, that's okay. That's life. It is what it is. But I think that's probably a good spot to end the stream. Looking at this majestic mountain range with Kratos and a dead Mimir body. But anyway, thank you guys for letting me rant about that for the last little while. I think the last like 20 minutes were all me ranting about Star Wars. So hopefully that's enjoyable. We should do a Star Wars game and nerd out all the time about it. Hey, I would love to do that. I love Star Wars, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys on Tuesday for whatever video I make next. And then I will maybe see you guys on Wednesday for a stream. Something might come up in my personal life to stop that, but we shall see. Until then, peace.